afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to day 6 of these group stages. It is going to be an absolute banger of matches, but before we get too deep into that, I am a master, and of course, I'm welcomed with Twist over here off to the side.
Hello everyone, I'm here. I'm here for the last day. We are here for the last day of the group stage.
Yeah.
We're excited. We want to see, how these placements go, and we still haven't figured out, which team gets relegated in Group B. So it's going to be a lot of fun. As always, 2 games, 2 best of 2s. And yeah, let's just get straight into it.
Yep, so today's schedule is looking at Saints versus Death or Glory, and then we have Winstrike versus STREETEIGHT. This is going to be a redemption match for Saints or Death or Glory. Someone in there is going to be able to get some nice, sweet points, or they could trade it out and have 1-for-1. Wouldn't be too bad. But then, the one that may or may not be absolutely nuts. It just kind of all depends. We did see Winstrike already do against Elevate 20-0. They took every single round. The Elevate had not a chance. So, STREETEIGHT, I hope you've been practicing. I hope you've been ready to go. Winstrike is coming to play. So, what will happen? We don't know yet. That's our second best of 2. And our last best of 2. So, we'll find out. Is Winstrike going to just go ahead and win it out in 20-0 again? Or are we going to be able to take our time and STREETEIGHT's going to have a fighting chance? But we'll find out for that soon. But yeah, Saints, Death or Glory, redemption time.
Yeah, again, like one of these groups are kind of decided, so they're not as interesting. But I think that that battle for, is Elevate going to get through the groups? Are they going to make it to the playoffs or not? I mean, they have literally no say in this, right? Like, it's all up to how the rest of the games perform. So let's actually take a look at Group A first, see where kind of we're at, and then we'll go over to Group B. So we can see in this one, it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. Saints have already kind of secured their spot. Same with this other 2 teams. This is the updated graphic, I believe. Yeah, so we have Revial, Saints, and Death or Glory already advancing, and then INCO kind of just not enough. Not enough. They did win that one last game, but it simply wasn't enough. So that is that for Group A. Hey, Master, tell us about Group B. I think that's where the most excitement is to be had.
Yeah, so Group B, this is where the absolute fun is for us. So we're going to be checking it out over here off to the side. So we got Winstrike, NOOBS, Team Elevate, and STREETEIGHT. Now, Elevate, again, is kind of in a rocky position. Are we going to be able to see them? Are we not? We don't know yet. They're not out yet. There's still a possibility for them to stay in. It just kind of all depends on today's matches. STREETEIGHT only has 1 point. And so what will happen? Where will they go? We'll find out. Winstrike might be able to do another 2-0, and by 2-0, I mean 20-0 for their matches. Team Elevate got absolutely rocked in that third matching for them. So STREETEIGHT does potentially have a chance here to be able to take a Team Elevate out. But if Winstrike does something ridiculous and does, 20-0 or something similar, it's going to come down to those round balances because they'll be even with their draws and losses if Winstrike just takes them all the way to the cleaners. And then we'll find out is it going to be STREETEIGHT, is it going to be Elevate. At this point, again, we don't know yet. We'll have to figure out what the big brain people are doing in the back with, all those rounds that they've calculated, and they've got all those stats for them. But noobs are looking pretty good as well. Now, our top players, because with that 20-0 with Winstrike was a bit nasty, and that put 4 out of 5 players up on the board. Envy is our number 10, and then you have Zeiss, Necro, and Prone. I mean, they're just nuts. Their ratings are huge: 1.66, 1.63, 1.59, and 1.21 for Envy down there. I mean, they basically the whole team of Winstrike is just on the top 10.
Yeah, Winstrike is definitely kind of crushing everyone in the group stage, at least for now. But the group stage is the group stage. I mean, props to them for already making it out. But again, once we get those playoffs, I mean, we oftentimes see that sometimes the underdogs really perform well in the playoffs, and sometimes the top team just doesn't really get anywhere. So still, playoffs are to be had, and that's where the real fun will begin. But I still think today's games are going to be very exciting, just because pretty much all matchups are where both teams really want to fight as hard as they can so they can secure a better placement in the group. So yeah, should be just all out, just everything that we haven't seen will be there, and all that we have seen as well.
Yeah, and I mean, look at Lunix, by the way. I need to highlight him. He's 141 kills, which there's so many to be had because they're all fighting for one single goal. First place, $12,500. Or if they don't make that, they have a chance to get 5,000, 3,500, 2,000, and 1,000 respectively for second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place. So there's 8 teams. There's only 6 positions for cash. So somebody, unfortunately, has to go today. INCO, unfortunately, has not done the best, and so they have gone out. Now, of course, here's our schedule for today with times. And so here in about 8 minutes or so, we should be starting that first matchup. Saints versus Death or Glory. And then slightly after that, on the 17:30 on the halfway hour, we have Winstrike and STREETEIGHT to battle it out. Or will Winstrike just decimate? We don't know yet. I mean, their abilities have just absolutely transformed from day one, being okay to you're done. There was no in between. It was like, oh, they're having a hard time, and then you're done. So we're not even gonna let you get a single one. But before we get to that, it's Saints versus Death or Glory. We're gonna have to find out who's gonna get it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, again, players on both these teams have been performing really well throughout the tournament. I think all of them have had their rounds and have had their moments. For example, on Saints side, we have Gentleman, we have Sid, we have many other players that I won't mention as I don't see their names anymore. But what I do see is that this Saints Data Foundation was 2017. So again, this is really a team that has been together for a long while. They know what they're doing, and especially with Gentleman being their captain, like, they know how to perform. They know how to get those rounds and get those victories. But again, they'll have to prove it against the other side of things, which is going to be Death or Glory.
Yep, they're going to have to figure it out. They've got good accolades. They have years of experience. I mean, here's the most recent plays, which would actually be more going into, here in this tournament. So, I mean, INCO, they've won 1. They zeroed out, unfortunately, against STREETEIGHT, which gives us a good chance for Winstrike. They definitely have beat out Winstrike, Revile, but then got obliterated by Winstrike. So they back and forth. Some of these best teams, things happen different days, different times. So you can't be the best all the time, even though we try to be. But next in line will be Death or Glory. This is where you got Caught, Payback, Kylov, Daz, and Flaffy all chilling together, all looking fantastic, ready to go and get into the crazy shenanigans. Now, these guys have done a fairly decent job. They've done good. Last time we saw Death or Glory in the minor, they were a little rocky, but definitely still doing good. They had decent placement for everything, but now they're here. They're in the majors, and they're ready to aim for, I would assume, first place, but somewhere in between. I mean, Winstrike is just nasty, so I'm not really sure how that could go with it. Now, they were founded yet again in 2017. By Daz being the captain for everybody. But for the most part, they have done plenty of events. They've done lands. They've got first place, third place over the time. I mean, they are super consistent with everything. And they're able to, typically be at the top, or at least top 3 of some larger events. Now, as far as their accolades go, well, Revile beat them out before. But wasn't too great with that. But they did 2-0 INCO, and then they also got Bullet Force, but then lost to STREETEIGHT and Winstrike, respectively. So the good news is, with all that we're seeing here, there's a lot of, losing to STREETEIGHT, so it's a good thing going up against STREETEIGHT to Winstrike. So not bad, but historically, they haven't done too well against Saints.
No, but again, I mean, these stats, throughout the whole tourney, we've been like, yeah, these stats kind of make sense. Well, based off these stats, this should happen. And then just the complete opposite happens every single time. So again, I do think stats are useful, but in this group stage, just everything has been turned upside down. Now, another thing I kind of want to mention is the fact that Reason has, what is it, 8 times more kills than COD does. So definitely Saints, I'd say a more experienced team coming into the group stage, coming into the major, but sometimes you don't expect how these kind of newer teams and newer players play because a lot of times, when you've been playing for a long time, you've adapted to one type of a play style and you know very well how to counter it and you know very well how to kind of play in that meta. But what happens a lot of times is that a newer team comes in and they have a completely different play style, but it actually throws most players off guard. Now, here we see Star Fox and Daz. Again, Daz has a little bit more frags than Kot, I think it was, but Star Fox still 1.5k kills. Definitely something not to mess with. If we look at the ratings as well, like Saints on average have higher ratings than Death or Glory have. So, again, just purely looking at stats, I mean, we kind of know which one should win, right? But then again, I kind of do expect Death or Glory to take at least one map. I think it's definitely possible for them to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Death or Glory has good experience and good plays, and I mean, they're by all means not terrible, but it is experience, not stats, experience, because all these kills that we're seeing coming in from Saints, I mean, it's no joke. I mean, as we're getting higher, Payback's got way more now, so now we're not, 8 times. We're chilling at actually under half. So, but 1,200 kills is huge. 1,600 kills. I mean, that's a lot of experience, especially in the professional sense where, there's top 20 rounds, right? That's you got to be able to get 20, 30 kills into a game for that to even get to this point quickly. And if it's not like the quickest, I mean, that is just a lot of games.
I think Kylov has like +5 skill just for his hair, right?
Yeah.
It's magnificent. I think we saw him play yesterday. He was playing very very well, and now things are starting to make sense a little bit more. All right, I think we are quite ready to actually head into our first game. Now, one thing is still not decided, and that is which maps we'll be seeing. Perhaps we'll see some Sandstone, perhaps we'll see some Rust, kind of the two maps that have been neglected, the most in the group stage. But I'm fully expecting to just see Sakura and Breeze again, as those
No,
two
don't
really
say
do
that.
seem. Yeah, I mean they do seem to be the favorites. I mean we can definitely say that Sakura, Breeze, and then also Province are like the top three maps. And then sometimes the team picks Sandstone, sometimes the team picks Rust. But at the end of the day, those are kind of the two most neglected maps.
Yeah, and I mean, I got to at least see one of the two. Coming back. You and DB got to have Rust and Sandstone back to back, but I doubt we'll be able to see that type of shenanigans today potentially. But it is a option in the pool that can be chosen, but will it? Probably not. But overall, it really does depend on these maps. Obviously we do have stats that for some reason don't work very much half the time, especially when I think it was Death or Glory yesterday with their 28% on Sakura, and I mean they gave it a pretty good run on it, and it's like that's not what I expect for 28% win rate on that. So I mean, well, again, it matters, but it doesn't. It definitely gives us a good idea, if there's fan favorites of theirs or not. And so a lot of the times, if a team is really terrible on a map, they'll try and get rid of it. So if they have a 0%, more than likely they'll try. But you never know. They got it. You'll keep a 0% if you never play on it. So it just kind of all depends on where they want to go. So the map pools and selections are kind of the biggest and most important. But we'll have to find that out whenever they are ready to decide.
Yeah, I think kind of want to continue on this thing where you said, Death or Glory, they didn't really have the best win rate on Sakura, but they still went very close. I think Death or Glory are a really good team where they can go, as close as it gets on most maps. They really have that competitive spirit. But
Oh,
here are the map bans: Province and Breeze. That's interesting. So we're gonna see
yeah.
Sandstone. All right, and Rust? No, no,
No.
no, no.
Okay.
That would be too much chance. That would be too much chance. So we're gonna see Sandstone, probably the least favorite map, and then right after that, we'll have Saints pick Sakura, the most popular map for now. I mean, in minor, I think it was the second most popular, but the Zone 9 was the most. But in this major, we do not have Zone 9, so Sakura has taken kind of that favorite map spot. Now, if we actually look at the win percentages, okay, Death or Glory, 25% now on Sakura, and Saints, they're just balling out here. 14 games won on Sakura, only 3 lost. Now, the other one, Sandstone, also, Saints are in the lead. It's actually interesting that, Death or Glory picks Sandstone rather than, I don't know, maybe Province, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, again, I think Sandstone isn't really a map that gets played a lot, so it could be the Death or Glory how just really practiced it recently, and, they'll try to surprise Saints any way that they can. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good map pick. And also another thing, Death or Glory picked first, right? So I'll kind of have that advantage of playing on their map pick first, and I think that kind of just gives you a bit of a mental boost if you have the easier map first. And then, if you win it, you're kind of like, oh, great. But then, in this situation, if they played on Sakura, lost, then it's just kind of harder to apply yourself and, push through once you've already lost one map, and then you gotta, play another one. So yeah, I'd say overall a very nice map pick, and it should be a very fun game as well.
Well, Death or Glory they have a good option here, being Sandstone. I mean, we saw previously that there's some possibilities of just absolutely bomb rushing over to any of the sites. I mean, the rotation are super long, but we'll have to find out. I mean, most people are thinking Saints are going to go ahead and take it, 64% versus 36%. Death or Glory, you've got a lot of fans here, and they think that you'll be able to do some good. And I mean, like I said, Sandstone has such hard, long rotations. Again, if they do what we saw previously, where it was literally 5 versus whoever on the site, whether it's 2 or 3, just rush it. By the time you get in there, you cause havoc, you got kills, you're in action, then the other team's rotating, but it's going to take them, 10, 15 seconds to get over there, so you can, you can take the teammates, take them out back, and go ahead and bomb site, get it planted. So it's a good possibility, and you just got to find out if they're going to do it or not. I mean, taking Sandstone slow almost seems to be a little bit of a death wish, but I mean, I know you can use tactics and take your time, but if you give them time to go ahead and get into that rotation, it just doesn't seem to work out.
Yeah, I think one thing you can really utilize on the T side are fakes, just because how far away those bomb sites are, it's very hard for CD players to, rotate over in time. So I think a very good strategy is just sending one player on the T side towards, let's say, a bomb site, and just, make him throw utility, make him fake it, make him shoot, just make him make as much noise and as much chaos he can, so he keeps kind of like 2 CD players on that A bomb site, and then the rest of the team slowly goes B and then just attacks viciously at one point, and they're only going to meet like 2-3 players. Plus, the 2 players that are on CD side, they're going to have to take a while to rotate just because how far away those bomb sites are. So, yeah, I think fakes, any kind of like gimmickry, anything you can really do that isn't just a straight push really works wonders on Sandstone.
Yeah, and the fact that whoever that other person causing chaos on it, if he's not pushed for that part of the rotation, then he could wait a few seconds, stop throwing everything, bomb gets planted, they start the rotation, he's sneaky, and then comes from behind for the backstab if he's not checked. So, I mean, that is a good option to be able to sneak and be able to get at least 1, maybe 2 kills and just cut off the entire rotation. Or as soon as they get there to have, to meet there, let's say, if they're not able to play any catch-up, again, you're still on the way. So you still have some pretty decent options as far as what's possible and where we're going to go with that. So we'll have to find out. Death or Glory, you have a good chance here. I mean, no matter way you do it, there is going to be, 3-2 split most of the time, maybe even 2-2 and 1 somewhere in mid. So if you do that full push, it takes so long. We got to see that literally firsthand. Not telling everybody what to do. Obviously, they're the pros. We're here having a good time, but we got to definitely see that work out very nicely.
Yeah, I think like a lot of times when you're actually playing the game, you're in the moment and you don't really have like that bird's eye view that we have. And so like oftentimes I would say even like we have some good suggestions, because we see through the walls, we kind of see the mini map, we see how everything unfolds. And so it's kind of just easier to spot, kind of what is working and what is not working. But again, obviously we're not going to take anything away from these players. They are the ones playing, we are the ones casting. So that's kind of the power difference here, I guess. But yeah, I think you can definitely watching the stream or just casting it, you can often see things that you don't really like see when you're playing, just because you have limited vision, you have limited perspective.
Yeah, definitely. And but what we do have for you is the first game, the first match, Saints versus Death or Glory. We're rocking into it. Let's find out Who's going to take it? All right. A little bit of crazy action. Daz being the first one to go out. Now we have Envy or Inverness going down. So let's find out. 1 for 1. Kalov's not doing the best. He is low, but we're going to have a nice little push-up. Gentleman going down. Death of Glory doing a good job. They currently have a little bit of an advantage with not only having one extra person, but Star Fox is just a sliver away from going down.
This is such a slow round, right? Like 1 minute off the clock already, and there's only 2 players who have gone down on Saint's side. So even though Death of Glory have gotten 2 opener frags, they're still not exactly committing, you know? They're just still waiting out. They're still kind of scouting out their options, seeing what's possible, but it does seem like A bomb site is going to be under attack any second. And it's only Reason here who can do a lot. The rest of the team is arriving, but Reason will have to get at least 1 frag, you know, perhaps deny the bomb plant, which isn't really possible as the bomb has already been planted. But I think this position is not really checked, and he gets a nice shot from there. They were just not expecting him on the right side of things there. And I think he knows the position of 1 more player there, so even though Death or Glory are able to get 1 frag, Reason is still very primed to find his second of the round. Now Caught, yeah, he's going to hear that, and it's going to be Flaffy taking him down. And actually a quick refrag there, so all up to Star Fox. He has to find 2 players here, and the time is really running low, so yeah, not really sure what he's gonna do here, and well, not really much because Caught takes him down, and Death or Glory actually take their first round on their own map pick.
All right then, not too bad. It wasn't too slow. Honestly, that was a really good pace, and now they're gonna be able to have that little bit of advantage for the second round, and we should be able to roll right up in here. But I mean, a lot of these shots, I mean, just unexpectedly, just instantaneous, good placements. But now, let's see if Saints can do anything against SMGs and FALs.
Yeah, I mean, we see those USPs shred, right? Like, we honestly see rounds where those USPs just get heads, you know, get easy taps. So they are kind of useful, but it's kind of like you have to be in a position where you can use it, right? Like, if it's just a gun duel, you know, you get peeked by a rifle and you have USP, yeah, you're probably going to go down. But if you can kind of play an off angle, you know, get 1 headshot, perhaps 2, that's a very good start. But will he see Daz pushing in? And that's what I mean. See, that's exactly what I mean. Those USPs do actually shred if you're accurate enough. Unfortunately, not able to pick up the gun, and Caught is going to get another frag. So now a 2v3 situation, but honestly, not the worst. Not the worst for a full eco to kill 2 players and still have 2 alive to fight. I mean, Saints are kind of in a pretty decent position here, especially with the Kylov being very low. I mean, 1 bullet literally anywhere and he goes down. So yeah, I think Death or Glory do know that, so they're kind of scouting their options again, kind of retreating back, not really being that confident of that A bomb site push anymore. I mean, there's only Gentleman there, but still, if he's good for 1, you know, it's again very possible to do that 1v2 on Star Fox. Now, Gentleman, he'll have to get at least 1, and he does not. He goes down, and now it's all up to Star Fox. He has a USP. He has some good cash, so he'll probably go for it. I mean, there's literally nothing he can save, but there's also nothing that he can get because Flaffy just eliminates him with a wall bang. That's going to be Death or Glory, advancing to 2 rounds quite quickly.
Yep, now for the fun to begin. Saints has been getting rocked long enough. Now it's time for them to purchase everything they want and see if Death or Glory can combat against as much as possible, stacked Saints. I mean, so now this is kind of the big moment. What is possible? What can they do? I mean, we do have. Well, I mean, Payback still got his MP5, which is, by all means, still going to work out just fine. But again, they got better rifles on the side of Saints, but then we do have better utility on Death or Glory. So it just depends on how things get used. But we're about to possibly have our first interaction here with Daz. He's pre-firing, making sure ain't nobody there.
Yep, I mean, 30 seconds run down the clock, and again, this is that slow sandstone, right? Like, not really any engagements just yet. That nade comes in, ooh, and that's Saints actually getting the opener frag. So in terms of rifle rounds, they are doing quite well at the moment, but still 4 more players to be found in Payback. He's kind of juggling with fire here, just playing with fire very close to Gentleman, not exactly peeking him just yet, but I think Gentleman has a very good position. He should be good for one, and then he can peek back in that cubby, but not anymore as he makes his rotation back. I think he actually spotted one player there as well, so that's definitely some valuable info given over to the rest of the team. And meanwhile, Star Fox is kind of being a bit aggressive here. Ooh, and this might actually pay off, but it's going to be payback. Paying him one in the back there with a nice shot to the head. And now it's going to be a 4v4. And Death or Glory kind of moving quite fast towards the B-bomb side of things. It's going to be a 2v4 there. So if they're able to do exactly what they're doing right now, they should be pretty primed. There's one more player on site, and that is going to be Sid. So, yeah, I mean, he's okay.
Oh.
He eats flashes, he eats a molly, and somehow he remains alive. And his teammate actually gets a frag, and his position is still not known. He's able to get one and the second. That's huge from Sid. Such a good play, and actually only one player left alive, but Flaffy gets refragged as well. So yeah, Sid just going ballistic there. Nobody was expecting him, and we saw that yesterday as well. He was performing really well on map number 1. On map number 2 in the best of 2, he kind of fell off, but definitely Sid is a player that can have those star-like performances on some maps.
Yeah, he absolutely can. And I think one of the biggest things that really kind of messed him up is they fully thought he was, I mean, that was double mollied. They fully expected him to just be absolutely crispy, but unfortunately he was not. He had just enough room to live, and then able to get this 2-piece. It was huge impact for that. And I mean, don't be wrong, I mean, surviving a double molly was kind of surprising, but you know, always check your corners. Gonna play.
Yep, most definitely. That smoke was very interesting. It kind of, I don't know, it looked weird. But look at this. Saints are sending so many players towards A. Oh, this is so smart. Saints are really pushing up on B side, so they're getting so much map control. They're getting so much info right now. So this is going to be hard for Death or Glory. They're pretty much getting cornered from both sides here. And the bad thing is they don't actually know it. So yeah, if they do decide to go B and rotate over, I mean, they're going to get caught off guard. And Inverness just pushes in and gets a frag. That's a huge, almost, no, now he goes down. I thought he got a frag. He was so close to 3v3 now. Daz is low, but still no pushes being made on the bomb side just yet.
No, nothing yet, but the biggest thing is we're about to potentially have... Wow. Okay, Daz actually was able to do that with the Tech 9. I was fully expecting him to be deleted with his, like, 7 HP, but... Okay, never mind. So Daz is able to be huge and clutch it out, or be part of the clutch itself. So, well, Death of Glory going to go up to 3, Saints on 1, and now they're going to have to go eco. Is going to be a bunch of pistoliers running around, and Death of Glory buying up everything they possibly could want. I mean, that was honestly a huge round that for Death of Glory, they would have been in a really bad position. But the fact that they were able to stop Saints and from being able to get any more rounds, it's huge on that. And to be able to get them into a nice, well, 4-round lead more than likely.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, look at this Saints. They don't really have anything to their names. They have a few upgraded pistols, but that's going to be pretty much it. And I think if Death or Glory finds it out, as soon as they see that one pistol, they're like, okay, they're eco. So let's just all go together. Let's not give them any 1v1 gun duels. But a knife duel is actually what happens. The second knife kill of this major. That was a smooth one. That was a clean one. But yeah, it does ultimately start to fall apart as Death or Glory just completely maul over Saints. I mean, just nothing to be found with those pistols. I mean, there's still 2 more in the picture, and there's Sid in the picture, and we kind of know how crazy he can go at some moments, but it's definitely not going to be this round as he goes down without a fight, and now it's only Inverness kind of expecting this boost, but not really getting anything for now.
Look, you don't need to be good with a pistol whenever you can just whip out your knife. I mean, that's just not even necessary. I mean, plus the knife, it causes more damage, so, you know, just pull it out and have a good time. But now with Inverness being the only one versus 4, it's not exactly fair with pistols or a knife. So he's going to try and see what he can do. Any headshots, any potential damage he can deal. But, ooh, he does. He picks up the rifle and is not... Oh, Daz is chilling there. The shotty. Oh, that's nasty. So, unfortunately, worst case scenario happened. Shotgun in close quarters in a hallway. Never feels good. Oh, this is... we get to see the redo and be able to get it. That's great.
And that's Death or Glory just racking up these rounds, looking very solid right now. 4-1 right now on the scoreboard, and they really show no signs of stopping. I mean, they're doing good. They're just kind of doing the standard T-side executes with a few original touches, but it is working. It's working very well. And again, you know, this game means a lot to them. This would improve their ranking in the group by quite a lot. So, yeah, they are fighting tooth and nail here.
Yeah, they're definitely putting up a great show and a great efforts. Definitely exactly what we were hoping for. All right, now we're able to see a little bit of a trade out. Payback Gentleman going down. So again, yeah, they're staying super close, just like that. They're doing trades, 1-to-1s. And it just seems to be working out for them. The fact that they're going to get Saints, one of the teams they've had historically a really big problem with. Again, the last 2 times they played against each other, Saints have absolutely rocked them in 2-0s. So the fact that they're on a good start, I mean, by all means, Saints could still bring this back by any stretch of the imagination. But for now, Death or Glory are looking really strong.
Yeah, it's a 3v4 situation. The bomb is slowly making its way towards the B bomb side of things. There's only 2 players there, so even though they have 1 player disadvantage in terms of just overall players, I think if they just attack B, they should be in a pretty prime position. But the thing is, if they go A, that's even better, and I think with this 1 player being mid, kind of looking both directions, a rotation could come in, but if they want to go for it, they kind of have to go for it very soon. There's only 35 seconds remain on the clock, and Sid, oh, he's on the bomb side again. He was going huge last time he was pushed on this bomb side, so I'm sure he could try to do it again, but I think his position is spotted, and he is not taken down, so he gets another frag. That Molly does take down 1, but ultimately a refrag comes in, and that's going to be Saints on 2. Slowly, they're making their way back into this game.
Yep, and so this will be not the eco round you're expecting. I mean, Flaffy literally was at 10K. And Daz sitting at 9,900. They've got plenty of cash to work with. They've been doing just nastily. And even with Daz and Flaffy still chilling with almost 10K between the 2 of them. But that's going to be, again, the best case scenario. They're able to do it again. Let's see what's possible. B seems to be where they want to go. And at this point, honestly, there's only 2 with a rotation of 1. This would be an absolutely great thing for them to be able to push for. And I think they're doing what we said earlier. They got 1 person on A, and they're going to do some crazy things, cause some problems. And it looks like that might be the plan. Just enough to keep them on the site.
Yeah, they are grouping up towards B, but I think Saints are really upgrading their CD side setups, right? Like, they're not exactly allowing those early pushes, those fast pushes onto any of these bomb sites. They're just very peculiar on how they just hold these sites. Star Fox, he's close now that Molly comes in, but doesn't really get any damage. And Reason somehow gets a kill while jumping on a Kylab. So Death or Glory lose another player. Now they're pretty much scrambling. I mean, at this point, they have really good cash reserves, so they technically should go for it, but it will be a bit hard, right? There's 3 players on B bomb side already, and yeah, another one goes down, that being Payback. So not only Flaffy and Daz now left in 2v5, and we've seen some 2v5s in the major so far, but this just seems impossible. Especially with the backstab now coming in. Yeah, there's just not much that Daz can do from this position other than save.
Yeah, try to save at least. Reason was right there, whether it didn't matter who killed him, he was about to go down. But they actually should still be able to potentially buy it. They feel like it, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Daz will definitely be able to spend some extra money. Yeah, here we go. Now some buys are coming in. Alright, so now new round, new day, new chance. Looks like it's going to be an absolute bum rush to A. Gonna make the way over there. Again, if they just make it bit hard and heavy, they should be able to have a good time. But it's this slowdown. They didn't stop, and now they got into a bad position. 2 of them already taken out, even though there's only 1 down on the side of Saints. I think this is big. If they can take Reason out, they should be in a good position. But Sid is going to go ahead and take down Daz. Oh, Reason is in such a hard position right there. And the grenade comes in for Flaffy. Oh, it's all falling apart again. 3 HP left for Payback. That's not what you want to see.
No, definitely not. And that's going to be Saints taking another round. So even though Death or Glory make a very early advancement here, it kind of all falls apart as now we head into the last round of the half and it's all equal again. Now, Death or Glory, this is their map pick, so getting 5 rounds on T side would be awesome. But for now, Saints are just denying any opportunities that the Death or Glory tried to create.
Yeah, I mean, Saints making it look a lot better. They are now fully bought up everything they could possibly want. Death or Glory, they've bought up everything. And I mean, they're not terrible, but they definitely don't have everything that they would want. So let's see if Daz can get this. He always seems to push and always hit that corner and never able to make those connections. So, I mean, I don't know if it's... Obviously, it's safer not to push up. But, I mean, obviously, if he could get it. But they're taking their time. Again, and I feel like this time delay is the killer to all in Sandstone, because we saw last round they pushed up, but then they stopped right in the courtyard towards A, and then they got met, and then they got killed. And so if they kept pushing up, they would have been close enough in their face, and enough of them would have been there, and I think that would have helped. But it just, to me, after every game I've seen of Sandstone in the professional sense, you just got to keep pushing. It's speed and just quantity.
Yeah, oftentimes switching up your gameplay as well might just do wonders for your attacks because, you know, Saints are kind of expecting one type of playstyle right now, which is quite a slow and methodical approach coming in from Death or Glory, and I think if they just rushed, they could be in a better position, but unfortunately, they're not doing this round, as Cotton and Kylov go down in a matter of seconds. Now Daz, next point of contact, and Star Fox just eliminates him almost behind the wall, it seems like, and now it's all left up to Flaffy. He's been in this situation before, but not for long. The Gentleman takes him down as well, and that's going to be Saints getting 4 rounds in a row, taking the lead in the side switch, and now it's going to be more interesting to see how kind of Death or Glory rebound from this 4-round loss.
Yeah, I mean, Death or Glory, I think with that playstyle, just it's better suited on the CT side. You know, you're able to not go too far. You're able to go nice and slow. This might have a good chance for them to bring up back these rounds. Now, it all depends if they're able to take this pistol, which they're more than capable of. So let's see if that's possible and see if they can deny the bomb plant. Now, we are going to see a nice 2-3 split, actually, from the side of Saints. Let's see if that actually works. Their approach is even slower than Death or Glory's, so again, wondering if that's going to work out this time around or not. It's possible. You know, of course, I'm just going off historical data, which, as we know, stats don't always tell the story, but you know, I guess it depends on the team, their accuracy, and a little bit of that RNG of where, you know, your crosshair placement is. So they're going to go ahead and try and do, honestly, a pretty crazy push onto A without even having the bomb. And they're kind of backing up for the side of Death or Glory. They're not really going in too far into the bomb site.
No, they're just waiting. I'm honestly surprised that we don't see more like just pistol rushes coming in from T side. I think, you know, if you just pushed one side, you would probably overwhelm the 2 or 3 players that are waiting there, especially when you have pistols. You know, it's just hard to multi-kills with pistols. But yeah, I mean, either way, Saints are taking a very slow approach here. Minute left on the clock, and they haven't even made a move just yet. They're kind of just walking around spawn. I think they might be a little bit paranoid that Death or Glory are going to play very aggressive and try to take map control, but that's not really happening. Both sides just holding angles at this point.
Yeah, just holding what they can, and I mean, everybody's flying in. Flappy's almost dead at this point. Now the rotation's coming in, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get there in time. There are 3 players who are just pinged out of their mind on the side of Death or Glory, so they're so low. So the advantage comes in for Saints for that, but they've got to make those connections. The bomb is planted, so the timer is set, and everybody is in their respective positions. See if Flappy can make anything happen. Reason getting 1 for payback. Now, it is up to Reason and Gentlemen to finish it off. So Saints getting the first pistol round and further pushing their lead ahead.
Yeah, they're looking very solid right now. I'm not exactly sure what happened in Death or Glory's camp, right? Like, it can't just be that their technical abilities are not up to par, because they definitely showed us in the first 5 rounds that, you know, they're here. They're definitely here to fight, and they have the technical abilities to do just that. But I think in these last couple of rounds, they've just kind of fell apart, you know, as a team. It seems like most of the time they just die 1 by 1. Refrags are not really coming in as much as they should be. And yeah, they lose rounds, I would say, even pretty badly. You know, they aren't really exactly down to 1v1s most of the time. So for now, Saints are doing very well. But again, we'll really have to see what happens once actually Death or Glory get to rifles on CD side.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. I mean, these guys are just 1v1s are not working at this point, and there's no one close enough to be able to take them once there's a distraction. So they've got to find a way to not only make the connections, but again, be able to refrag. I mean, the fact that there was nobody there just now to help out. Now, granted, we're going to see some more coming in, and again, nobody is there to really help. They're not close enough, and so now there's only 2 versus 3, and the rotation is coming in, whether if it's going to be B or A. Now, that was a huge, huge kill at a nice spot, evening it out. And now there's one on either side, just depending on which way they want to go. They might be cut off here if Kyloff wants to go ahead and scoot up a little bit.
But here's so much info here, and is able to get the frag, able to retrieve the rifle as one, but he knows one more is close. Trying to take the rifle, and he gets the frag as well. That's a very nice play coming in from COD. Definitely what Death or Glory needed right now. This is going to give them a little bit more confidence. You know, they hadn't really won round 5 in a row, but now they have. And now actually the economy on Saints is kind of broken as well. So this is overall just great coming in for Death or Glory.
Oh, dude, he baited him so hard with that. He picked up the MP5, but then just kept his pistol out, just making him think, hey, that's all I got. Don't worry about it. You want a pistol fight? It swaps into the MP5 and just wrecks it. That was such a hard bait.
All right, so Death or Glory, just a bit more life, you know, but there you go. Yeah, they get another 2. It seems like this is going to be another one of those chunk games where one team, you know, gets 3 or 4 rounds and the other does exactly the same. As Death or Glory are looking to get their second. Now, Star Fox goes down. Not exactly sure what happened there. It seemed like he just froze for a little bit. Might be a bit of a server or device issue, but either way, Death or Glory equalize the scoreboard once again, and now they put themselves in a very prime position to keep getting these rounds.
Yeah, they definitely are. Now that it's evened up, we are going to see the buys obviously coming in from Saints. They're going to have some extra trinkets in their pockets, but they can't afford a whole lot. So now they're going to be running up in here, having a good time. Which way are they going to go? They're going to split again. And let's see what happens. I got the bomb in a nice safe place. It's not too far out of the way. Now we are seeing a little bit more compression coming in. They scoot up just a little bit further on Death or Glory over there on the A site, but they are now slowly bringing it back. They got the information that they're not there yet. But we are going to see Kyloff. Let's see if he can get any information on B. And again, slow but surely making their way. And let's find out if that slow is going to work for Saints this time.
Yeah, again, very, very slow approaches from both teams coming in on the T side. That's definitely interesting to note. I mean, I would love to see just a bomb site rush, just once, just to see what happens, right? Because I feel like this slow, methodical playstyle could work, but there's a lot of areas that are just left unexplored from both teams on the T side. You know, they kind of default to the same, yeah, let's try to play for pigs, try to get openers in either A or B, and then, you know, decide where to go. Sometimes you just need a little bit of, you know, spice, a little bit more of aggression added into the mix, and then wonderful things can happen. But for now, it seems like they are grouping up towards the B bomb site side of things. And there's only 2 players there. There's one Death or Glory player is making a rotation towards A. So this could be a pretty nice hit coming in from Saints.
Yeah, I mean, they're priming themselves pretty good at this point, and now the rotations will have to be coming in. Oh, now that's huge. The mollies, they cut off the entrance. So now they're going to have to wait some time, and that allows the team to rotate over. Now that's a huge, huge thing. Now Star Fox is able to get one to pay back for another. But now that they pretty much stopped the advance for the most part and given them enough time, now Daz caught, able to pick up 1 each. Now it's 4 versus 1. Caught for another. Then Flaffy. Now it is all falling apart. They're all collecting their rewards on the ground. And now it's time for the defuse.
I'm really not sure how they got that round. It seemed like so primed for Saints, but yeah, they were just not able to do much. You know, I mean, yeah, plant the bomb, but from there, just all fell apart. So yeah, Death or Glory looking very solid right now, doing exactly what they need to do on the CD side, and it definitely shows on the rounds as well.
Yeah, they're bringing it back. It's looking good. Now they're going to have more than likely an eco, or maybe forcefully bought up a little bit for Saints. And at that point, this should be pretty prime for Death of Glory to go ahead and bump themselves up into a 2-round lead. But again, let's find out how it goes. Saints has an idea, they have a plan, and there looks like a full execute over to A. But look at that! Look at the whole... It's a 4-man push also over to A for the side of Death of Glory. They have anticipated properly, and Flaffy starts off for one, Star Fox for the other, then caught. Invernus is trying, but nothing happens. Daz and his shoddy, and then Payback with his nade. Everyone did. It's only 2 left. It's Payback and Akylov against Reason with a shoddy.
Yeah, Reason, I mean, he has the bomb and he has so much time to work with. I think they might be expecting where he come from, but they definitely don't want to push him because that shot is just going to be leading. He's a little bit of a saw that he's getting close ranges. Somewhere there by Rifle, so it's actually not expecting the other player to be so close by. So that Glory take another one, truly a game of chunks. I mean, this was 6-4 for Saints, or 6-5, I believe, and then Death or Glory just, you know, advancing, doing what they do best, getting like 3 or 4 rounds in a row. The interesting question is going to be, is this going to be the final push coming in from Death or Glory? Are they going to get 2 more here in a row? Or are Saints just going to advance, you know, get 2 or 3 rounds maybe, and then we're going to have a very close game? This is getting close.
Yeah, they're trying their hardest. Everything is bought up as much as possible for the side of Saints. They have everything they could possibly want. The same for Death or Glory. So now they're not doing that hard push. They're not doing anything crazy. So it looks like, again, 3-2 split. Bomb is still hanging out towards B. And we'll see if that works any better. It looks like they might have a little bit of side action coming in from Flaffy, but Akylov going to go ahead and start off. Ooh, nice long-range shot over there towards B. So now leaving only Sid by himself. Now, we might see a little bit of a rotation of Star Fox down there. He might come and help, but again, this is basically Sid is just protecting the bomb off to the side while everybody goes and has a good time over day.
Yeah, again, Saints, I'm not sure they want to keep doing the same thing. Like, again, you know, kind of get that bird's eye view where every single round they just slowly approach either of the bomb sites, slowly try to take map control, and it's not really working out for them, is it? So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see if like the same old thing they've been trying every single round that hasn't really worked out will work out for now.
Yep, and here comes the hard push. Rotations are coming in. It looks like we might be able to see Payback cutting off Star Fox here in just a second here in the mid area, but we'll have to see what happens. But it might be caught. They're going to be pushing up just a little bit here. And that's going to be Star Fox to get Akylov. And there's going to be a little bit of pushback here. And Gentleman's going to go ahead and take down Caught. Now it's kind of falling apart just a little bit. It's a 3v3. Make that a 3v2. Bomb is planted. And now Flaffy is in a hard position. We're waiting. Sorry, that's Flaffy. Payback is coming in and actually trying, but not hard enough. Star Fox able to take him down.
This is getting closer by the minute, man. Like, Saints are up on 7. Now they're going to buy up. And yeah, sure, the economy on Death or Glory is definitely great. You know, they won many rounds in a row where they didn't even lose many players. So definitely cash has built up. But this would be the worst thing to happen is if Saints take another 2. And then on the final round where it's like 8-9, you know, Death or Glory pretty much have to force like SMGs. Like, this would be horrible for them. So definitely have to be smart with their money, even though they have quite a lot with it. And what's another thing happening is Payback, you know, refragging on Invernus here. Now 4v4 situation. And again, Saint just taking that slow, methodical approach. Bomb is dropped, and now we're getting picked up by Sid. And it seems like, again, they might group up towards A here.
Yep, that looks to be what they want to do. And at this point, being a 4v4, it is a huge split. And that's going to take a long time for the 2 players on B to be able to rotate up, being Daz and Payback. So they might need to go ahead and, if they can make a move, make it now and get that information. That might be a huge thing for Flaffy to be able to, you know, maybe see anything, just so they can go ahead and have that rotation time. But it looks like at least one is going to be coming over. And Caught. I don't know if he meant to do that, but now he's got a nice smoke cover. All right, gentlemen. 1.
Bomb has been planted.
Caught was able to get
Gentleman
1.
with a double, actually. Yeah, I mean, this is very doable for Saints. the retake is coming in from Death or Glory, but there's only 2 players. And I think, gentlemen, he's very primed to find another, which he does not. Daz, with his final HPs remaining, finds one. And now 2 more players to be found. One exposed himself, and I think they know where the other one is. This could be huge if Death or Glory could take it, but still, there's not enough time. Now, both players are coming in, but Kot's position is known. Oh, he's so low. Daz is somehow able to get one, and now there's only 1 player left on site, and it's going to be Daz. Take him down as well. The question is there enough time? This is going to be so close. I think there is. I think with the fuse kit, yeah, he's able to do it, and that's Death or Glory on 9. Such a close round, but such a nice 2v3 retake coming in the last dying embers of that round.
Look, I thought that was absolutely all over, but Daz was able to make his way onto the site and able to get just enough from the side. I mean, that was a good distraction, and he was able to get in not only with his tiny amount of HP, his 11 HP, but to be able to get not only the top player off to the side, but then be able to be a distraction again, and Daz was able to come around to the side and take out the second one. I mean, that was a great fake out, a great ability on that one. And ultimately, I thought it was over, and we were going to see a 9-9, because that's just exactly the way that was going to go. But now, Death or Glory on match point. All they have to do is this one more time, but Sid says absolutely not. Well, this ain't over yet. And so now, we got some picks. Oh,
Okay.
The grenade made it in just perfectly at his feet. And now...
The inspect animation of death there.
Yeah, just going up into the air. But now we're down 1 on either side. It's looking still even. Again, may need to see that rotation come in a little bit for that one person, because A seems to be where they want to go again.
All right, Payback. He has to go big here, and he does get some damage in, but fortunately not the kill. How is that Sid do it? I don't get it. He just runs by, gets an instant headshot on Payback there. And that's going to be huge, as now they can advance towards B. There's only 1 player kind of moving in as a rotation on the B bomb side of things, coming in from Death or Glory, but he's going to have to go ballistic here. Daz, he's getting smoked off as well, but that smoke might actually work out a little bit in his advantage, as there's more angles, less angles actually, that he has to check, but Reason just pushes him, rushes him down, and he goes down. So a 2v4. I mean, we saw a 2v3 retake coming in the last round, but this one seems like a bit more challenging. Sid is going to finally take down Flaffy. Now it's caught left in a 1v3 clutch. His position is known, and he's not exactly on the best HP. So yeah, I think the best decision here is just to retreat, save that rifle. That's definitely the smarter call. And I mean, yeah, Death or Glory still have good economy, but it's looking like, you know, if they'll lose another round, they might have to force weapons, you know, in the last round of play. So definitely they need to take home this next round, otherwise they'll be in a pretty bad spot to find themselves.
Yep, so this is going to be best case scenario, being able to hold that rifle. I mean, we are seeing Sid. He's hungry. He's on the look. But it's like he's just not going to be able to meet. Cod staying in a nice position. And now, rocketing into the next round. Still match point for Death or Glory, but now Saints is 1 more closer. And only need 1 more round to tie it up and 2 to take it home. Death or Glory going to have to kind of buy as much as possible. We're going to see a bunch of shotties come out, it looks like. Let's be 3 shotties, 1 rifle, and Kylov with his pistol. So, I mean, it's still good and possible. And that's at least potentially 2 weapons to be grabbed right there. I mean, Kylov and Flaffy, if they're able to pick up at least those 2 weapons, will be in a nice position if they can get some of that distraction, or at least pick up, you know, the one from their teammate that's just kind of chilling there. I mean, he's not in the worst position.
That's Reason with a pretty nice nade there, but I don't think that did any damage there. So Flaffy is going to get taken down as well. Death or Glory, this is falling apart for them. Now, granted, this is kind of a forced buy, so they'll have rifles the last round of play, but yeah, it does look like we are going to that last round of play as close as it can get. This is what I told you, the last day of the group stage, everyone is going to be fighting, as much as they can, and that definitely shows in the rounds here as well. Now, Star Fox trying to go for the wall bag, not really finding anything just yet. Reload's coming in. That nade is nice. Definitely connects, deals some damage, although only, I think, 5 HP taken away from Star Fox, and Daz, he'll have to go big here. That shot, he might be the best position because he's very close. He should be able to get at least 1, but again, this angle is getting checked a lot. So once they drop, he'll have a lot to do here. But actually, Saints, they're not sure about this. Yeah, they might be rotating over towards B. This is very interesting.
Oh, but wait, Kylov, he's thinking about it. Oh, he might be able to get in there and pick up the rifle. Is he going to stay with the shotty? Yes. Okay.
I mean, there's really no info coming in from both sides, so they're pretty much doing this blind. Akailov, this is a very nice position. I'm not sure if they're going to check it. And Star Fox is able to get the frag with Payback quick on the refrag, and he's still strong on the site. A frag grenade is coming in, a smoke grenade is coming in. Reason is checking that angle, and slowly Saints are making their advances towards the B bomb side of things. The plant will come in any second. There you go. And a 2v2 retake. Now, Reason, he's very aware. He's so aware about this rotation, but still Payback able to take him down. Now it's all left up to Sid. Can he keep his team in the game? He's going to push up. He's going to take aggressive angle and take down Daz. Now he knows where Payback is coming in. 1v1 situation. Not much time left on the clock. Payback has to clear many different angles. He might have an idea. He's fighting. Now he definitely has an idea. Trying to pre-fire, and that's going to be now. Sid with the flick, keeping Saints in the game. I thought that was Payback's kill any day of the week, but somehow Sid again, you know, when those crucial games come up, he's showing up big time. 15 frags to his name, same for Star Fox, and Reason not far away from that as well.
Same. I thought that was going to be Payback's any time. I mean, this was just going to be, should have been, but oh, you get to see the flick from his point of view. That was just a perfect slide to his face. I mean, we did get to see Payback's point of view the first time, and it was a little sloppy with the bullet spread, but I mean, that was cleanest slide over, just a flick and a half. So now we're on match point. This is as close as you get. It's 9-9. This is all for everything. Everything's bought up. Everybody has spent all the money as humanly possible. Well, except for Star Fox. He wants to be the investment banker down there with $3,400 still left in his pocket, but that's okay. They don't need anything else. Ooh, good information for gentlemen. Payback able to slide through there safely. And A seems to be the important place where they want to go. And so there's at least 2 versus 3 and 1 rotatable. But we may see this push up here.
A is so open right now, especially now with Sid taking a frag and Vernus with another one. This looks like it's gonna be a Saints round. They have completely opened up the A bomb site, smoked off entrances as well, so the retake is just gonna be way harder for Death or Glory. Flash is coming in as well. Saints are playing this perfectly. Now Payback is almost able to catch one off guard. Will he get Gentleman? That would be a huge frag. He does get Gentleman, and one more foul from Akailov. Now a 3v3 retake. This is still very doable. A lot of time left on the clock, and that's a huge frag from Payback. He just knows somebody's there. So now it's going to be a 2v3, and Payback not able to get Star Fox this time. 2v2, and I think the defuse is coming in. What is happening here? Daz gets another one. This is going to be Death or Glory, getting the ninja defuse of all things in the final round of play. Somehow, some way, getting it over the finish line in a 3v5 retake, taking the first map, getting a nice point in this group stage.
Ooh, that was so close. And the fact that they get the ninja defuse and they still had a player left on the side of Saints is insane. Being able to get that the last possible second, I mean, that is fantastic. So now, Death or Glory, they're able to get their point on their map pick. So now we're going to be sliding in to the next map of today and seeing if, well, maybe are we going to go ahead and see 2-0 maybe coming up for Death or Glory? Or are Saints going to go ahead and get a 1-1 and go ahead and round off their points? I mean, we did get to see for their points, Death or Glory has 2, Saints has 3. So Death or Glory actually would be in a better position if they were able to take both matches today. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But ultimately, that was a great show. It came down to the literal wire and just enough coming in from Payback, being able to get those 2 massively impactful frags and then being able to allow for a 1v2 ninja defuse.
Yeah, that last round, I mean, I was pretty much sure that Saints are going to take it. I'm not quite sure how they fumbled that 5v3. You know, they have the bomb planted. They have even entrances smoked off, right? So it's like, all they really have to do is just hold angles and, you know, be patient. Let the clock run out. But, yeah, somehow, some way, Death or Glory make it. I think Akailov was probably the key player in that retake. I mean, the way how he got the 3rd kill, you know, just a wall-bang pre-fire, you know, kind of expecting someone to be there, that definitely changed things. And then they just go for the defuse, you know. They don't even try to kill all players. They just immediately start defusing. And I think that was a really good move because as soon as the T players hear that defuse, they're kind of like, okay, we have to peek. But when you peek, you're kind of at a disadvantage because somebody's watching that. So, yeah, just overall a very masterfully played round coming in from death or glory. But I don't think the first map is any kind of a prediction of what we're going to see in the second one, right? Because it was literally as close. It was literally 50-50. Let's be honest, right? It was as close as it can get. So yeah, it's probably going to be a close one once we actually move on to the next map as well. But we'll really have to wait and see again for maybe the people just tuning into the stream. The next map is going to be Sakura. I think probably the most played map in the group stage so far. And it's always fun. It's always a blast to watch. I think those paper walls definitely give a lot of good entertainment. But while we wait for the second game, let's take a quick recap of the highlights that happened in this game.
Which there are plenty of them. Again, we went to the max amount of rounds. We got to see everything. And so they were just on fire. And here's that Sid two-piece where they thought they blew him off and burned him and scorched him, but he still survived. And then here's the first stab just coming up in and just getting the surprise. And then that Daz headshot was just nasty. But again, as we roll through this, we're seeing more and more crazy action coming through here for the fact that it was going so close back to back to back. Nobody got too far of a lead once the first official lead at the beginning. It was just close and back and forth. No more than 2 rounds after that.
Yeah, again, death or glory. This is what I mean. Like, even if they don't have the best win percentages, even if they don't have, like, you know, they're not primed as the best team in the tournament, they are really fighting hard. Like we've seen in all of their matches so far, when it matters, like they really show up. Like again, maybe, you know, the individual skill, the strats are not there, but you can see like the wolf spirit, you know, the spirit just keep fighting. The warrior spirit is there, and they show it every single round. Like the fact that they got like, I think a 2v3 retake and then a 3v5 retake just shows, you know, how capable they really are at just, you know, pushing through whatever disadvantage they find themselves in. And this is what I mean. This payback, like that pre-fire, I think kind of won them that final round. So let's take a look at the MVPs. I mean, Cod and Sid are kind of close here, but Cod actually wins it out. Even though he has less kills, his rating is, by 0.1 points better.
Yeah, and I mean that works out just in their favor, especially of course taking the match and winning. But the fact that he has a higher rating with less kills, I mean, Sid did a wonderful job. We saw him do plenty of impactful things in that round, but just unfortunately, Cod had a bigger impact and a better KD. Now, this is our rounds. You get to see. This is honestly what I like to see, is when it's nice and evenly spread across the board, back and forth. Nothing too red, nothing on one side. So this is honestly really great spread. And you got to see in a lot of these, you know, Death and Glory had a lot of players, you know, left alive in the second half. And, of course, on the first half, right at the end, Saints kind of started to pick up.
Yeah, again, this is a pretty close game, but it wasn't close in terms of like every single round being close. It was close in terms of like one team getting 4 or 5 rounds predominantly in a row, and then the other team showing up and getting, 4 or 5 rounds. So it was a very interesting game to watch, but I think it really got close at the end there. I mean, we can see, round number 17, 18, 19, where really, players are only 1 or 2 alive on both sides, and they're really fighting close. But then if we look at the rounds like 11, 12, 13, 14, this is just death or glory dominance, right? And Saints, for example, rounds 4, 5, 10, 15, this is Saints dominance. So it was a very interesting game where, just, both teams performing really well in specific rounds, but they're not really being able to keep that same mentality throughout the whole game, so it gets really close. Now, if you look at the player stats, I mean, yes, Sid was definitely a good player, Star Fox as well. Interestingly enough, Star Fox was top fragging the whole server, but he's only... He's in 4th place in terms of rating. So this again shows, kills are not everything, and that rating is calculated in many different ways. So yeah, overall, I'd say everyone is performing. Maybe in Vernus, you could have asked him to get like double-digit frags, but I don't know. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you can have like a bit worse off game, and I'm sure he can show up once we actually get to Sakura.
Yeah, but see, what I thought was great about that with everybody's rating is technically Saints, even though they came down to the wire, but they had a much better rating across the board from everybody versus Death or Glory, but somehow just right there for it. The ratings don't necessarily always matter. It really comes down to, again, who gets the round. And ultimately, Death or Glory did, but the fact that Saints has a lot better ratings across the board, I mean, we got to see a lot of good gameplays, and there's a lot of good reasons for that. I mean, and the fact that, Invernus, like you said, could have done double digits. He was the only one who didn't. He got left out a little bit, but that's okay. We'll be able to see him clutch up and have a good time here. And Sakura, again, being the most fan-favorited map in this event entirely, I would assume Inverness should be able to do a little bit better. He's more comfortable with it since he's played the most, and so hopefully we get to see at least him bring his way back up. You know, a little bit of redemption coming soon. But, you know, both teams should be very acclimated at this point to Sakura, and we should be able to see a nice, close game as well, again, as we go into it. I mean, like you said, Death or Glory, they've been able to fight back constantly, and when it matters, being able to pull it ahead. And I don't see that changing going into this map number 2.
Yeah, I think map 2 again is just going to be a blast, right? Like, Saints, they definitely want to get this round because if Death or Glory actually win both games, they'll have 4 points, and that's the same as, I believe, Revile in their group, right? Like, can we take a quick look at the groups to kind of understand where we're at right now? Yeah, so this is it. So INCO, they're already out, and now Death or Glory, this says 2, but they have 3 points as of now, so they're equaling Saints. And if they get another victory, well, Saints are actually left last, as Revile and Death or Glory will both be on 4 points, and then it's off round balance, who takes first, who takes second. So this pretty much is a game for Saints, either, you know, staying kind of at the same level of Death or Glory, and perhaps, you know, getting second off round balance, or getting third. So it's quite important for Saints, I'd say. I think this game is more important for Saints than it is for Death or Glory, because probably if Saints get third, then, you know, they'll have to face, I think, Winstrike first, you know, from Group B in the playoffs, and that's just not something you want to do. You definitely don't want to play your first playoff game against a team that 20-0'd Elevate, right? So, yeah, I think Saints, they need this victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that is just not something they want to do going up against Winstrike, which we'll be able to see that game coming up here, you know, secondly today, but ultimately not too bad. And now we're going to go ahead and figure out who's going to be able to take that second map of today. Death or Glory versus Saints. Sakura, game 2.
All right, here we go. This is for everything Saints. They desperately need this game. Death or Glory would love to win it. They would love to become group leaders, but ultimately, I think, yeah, Saints are definitely here to play. Now, seems like Death or Glory, they are quite an interesting approach. They have 2 players on B and then 3 playing very weirdly on the A side of things. Meanwhile, we have Saints, and they're sending most of their resources towards A, but Bomb is interestingly enough still on B, so I think they might just try to go for like an, you know, try to take a peek, try to take a little peep on A, see what's possible, and if nothing's possible, that Bomb can still push B and probably find only 1 player on the Bomb side. Now, Reason, he'll be the first point of contact. I think he spotted a player there as well, so this is quite interesting. Now, reloads are coming in. And again, such slow approaches these pistol rounds. Like, we're 50 seconds in the round, and I don't think like there have been even like any shots fired between both players, between both teams. So now they're actually setting up a B bomb set execute, and that's a very good call. There's only 1 player on B, 1 more arriving, but with the push coming in very quickly, I think they should be primed to plant the bomb at least. That smoke is gonna do very good at isolating angles, and Star Fox, he's gonna start planting. Ooh, double guessing himself. This might not be good. If Payback peeks, he's gonna go down, but Payback peeks a little bit too late there, and he's very low, so at this point, it's gonna be hard for him to do much. Now, somehow Saints actually lose 2 players. That's gonna be caught taking down Gentleman as well, and Reason, he has to find his frag. This is a crucial one to be found, but so many different angles to watch. Oh, and he gets a nice clean headshot on a Kylov. Has to find 1 more. They know where his position is, but this is really just running down time as much as possible. He's gonna get free fired by Flaffy. Reason goes down, so now a 2v4 unfolding, and again, bomb is ticking, so Death or Glory, they have to get on that defuse quickly. Sid gets 1, and he's able to deny the defuse. Will there be enough time?
No.
That's a real question. They start defusing, but yeah, oh, this is gonna be so close, and it explodes. Saints playing it perfectly. That was such a good play, right? Like, they lost 2 players with 3v5, but they, instead of peeking, they just tried to run down the clock as much as possible, and that last frag, you know, on the bomb diffuser just does everything for them. So very smartly played from Saints. Definitely deserved this round, and yeah, Reason, that was a very clean shot as well.
Yeah, this deny right here, that was it. That was the end of the beginning. Now, Saints able to get the first round and be able to buy up exactly what they needed. And so, not too bad. Now we're going to see those, of course, the pistols come in. So let's see if Death or Glory can potentially maybe secure themselves a weapon. You know, maybe, you know, stack up together, be able to get one of the rifles, be able to move this back. But Saints looking strong already. And again, it's about those placements. You know, I mean, you don't have to be the craziest, flashiest person, even though, I mean, Sid did kind of crazy, flashy stuff to be able to help with that and get a nice 2-piece and deny the defuse. But it doesn't have to be. And so, you know, you just got to make sure your placements are good. And right here we have a nice double pistol coming in. So if we do see a push come up from here, Caught and Kylov should be able to change this. Now, Reason is working his way up. He's getting close. Oh, that's from the
he
bottom.
does take down Reason. Yeah, that's a big frag to be found, especially those pistols. That rifle is going to get retrieved now. Kylov shows his position, so he's going to get and rotate away, but the bomb is still towards the B bomb site. And again, Death or Glory are allocating only one player towards B. This was their mistake in the first round of playing. Seems like they're not really changing. They're not changing what they did wrong in the first round. So we'll see if this time it works out. But again, pretty much only pistols and one rifle to their name. This is going to be a hard one. That's smoke/flash is coming in again. And the bomb pad in the exact same position. Now, Death or Glory, they're going to be on it right now. But again, I think Saints are just going to play it slow. Make sure that they run down the clock as much as possible. Although Payback's able to find one and Sid with a quick refrag and Sid with a double, that's probably going to change the outcome of the round completely. As now Kylov, he's struggling to find anything, and Flaffy, the only one left alive, probably going to try to retrieve a weapon, but he's found by Inverness as well. And that's Saints, again, starting off the chunk gameplay with 2 on the board.
Yeah, looking at such a good start. Now Death or Glory can be able to buy up now, though. They gave it their best attempt, and they were able to at least retrieve one weapon through that, but ultimately it just did not secure any kills with it. So now they have their own weapons. They have exactly what they want. And now let's try it again, see if they can get their first round on round 3. Let's see what's possible. I mean, they're honestly, I mean, it's a little difficult up front, you know, I mean, especially with pistols. So now let's see if they can secure B. Looks like B is the fancy place that the Saints want to go this time. Nice push, payback, Sid for 1. And Daz for another. Inverness for another. They're just changing one out for each. Now it's a 3v3. Gentleman changing it into a 3v2. And now we have to see if Gentleman can be taken down. He is, but gets refragged again. Now Flaffy's the only one left alive. Sid is like 10 HP, so it's definitely possible. But he has to be looking the right direction and the right time to make this happen. There is still a minute, 15 seconds, so no matter if it's B or A, there's still plenty of time for Saints to get it planted. Let's see what Flaffy can do to deny that.
Flaffy, once again, in this clutch situation, pardon me. Last time he wasn't really able to do much from it, but this time he has a rifle, and Sid is low as well. This 1v2 definitely seems possible. We'll see how possible it really is, but Saints, they're not really overcommitting to anything just yet. I think they're kind of, might be expecting Flaffy to play a bit more aggressively here, you know, try to isolate his 1v1 gun duels. Oh, this is going to be big. He's going to peek at the exact right moment and find one. Inverness goes down, and that's the bomb as well, so he knows the other player should be somewhere nearby, and now it's going to be Sid pushing up. He's on 8 HP, so if Flaffy finds one bullet, one wildlight, oh, and he spots, just completely catches off guard Sid, and that's going to be Death or Glory winning their first. Flaffy coming in with a nice clutch, getting 2 kills in that round, you know, 3 in total, but 2 very valuable kills there.
Yeah, and I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of health, so I mean, Flaffy was able to do really good on that one, and not that he had to catch him off guard, but the fact that he absolutely did make this so much easier. But Flaffy bringing it into the first round, making sure that Death or Glory can start off strong. Now, it looks like they're going to have a hard push towards A. What is that? Reason able to get a nice, clean, quick-scope headshot to start it off. Now, Kylov is able to change it out a little bit, at least get one. He hears somebody above him. Ooh, that nade hurt so much. 12 HP left. Just right underneath him. Now, possibilities of living? I mean, he hears the pew-pews, the silent pews, but Gentleman's right around the corner, 100 HP. He's going to have a little bit of backup. Although Daz is all the way across the map, he probably should have any rotations coming soon. A lot of footsteps will be coming in, so he'll be moving instantaneously.
1v3 this time. Daz trying to do what Flaffy just did, attempt that clutch, but he is so far away. I'm not even sure. Yeah, he's just not going to go for it. Save is definitely a better option. $0 to his name, so this weapon is going to be very useful if retrieved if, you know, kept till the next round. Now, he is running far, far away, so I don't think any players will really be able to take that out of his hands. But yeah, Death or Glory, kind of a slow start here. Kind of a slow start. Again, this was Saints Mapic, so it kind of makes sense. But especially on CD side of things, I mean, you don't want to let too many of these rounds slip, as starting on the T side will definitely be harder. And, you know, you kind of just want to build a nice early advantage. Ooh, Daz there. He does spot one player. Now they know where he is. If he peeks, he might be dead, but that's a nice frag to be found. Star Fox goes down, and Daz still alive. So adds a bit more cash to his name. Definitely can maybe drop a weapon over to his team, and I think at this point they have to figure if they want to buy or if they want to go eco. Flaffy can definitely buy. Daz will have a rifle as well. The rest of the team perhaps can get some MP7s or something dropped, but yeah, it seems like they are going for at least a partial buy. This is going to be a very interesting round. 2 5.7s and 2 rifles, and then and then 2 dualies.
No,
that's interesting.
All right, hopefully we can see some good action coming in from Cot. Flaffy getting the first one. That's doing good. Opens it up. Kyloff might be able to get one. Ooh, gets pinged hard. 9 HP remaining. Payback able to secure the weapon. Be able to round it out a little bit better. Oh, Cot in a good position might be able to have an interaction. I don't know, Reason's pushing his way up. I don't think those dualies are going to be able to do this. But damage, yes. Win, not sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot to ask here. I mean, they already have gotten one, so that's definitely good, but look at the mini-map. Oh, and that's just one player, that being Daz, going down. That is not good if you are Death or Glory. 4v4 now. Reason spotting one more on the bomb site, so meanwhile, one more is gonna go down on the side of Death or Glory, so at this point, it's all falling apart at the scene. Oh, look at that, Kyla! He finds a double with the 5-7. That's such two crucial frags to be found. He's going for more. He smells the blood in the water, but not being able to really do much. So Flaffy left in 1v2. I think now it's quite doable, right? Like at this point, you can definitely isolate your gun duels, and I think he hears both players. He knows in a very good position to find them, but he's not able to. Just immediately getting his head popped and goes down. So Saints still playing strong, still keeping that 4-round advantage. But I mean, last game, this is exactly where things started to change.
Yeah, it did. And I mean, Saints, they're up to 4. Death or Glory chilling with 1 still. Now, they aren't going to be able to buy up. They still have things that they need. So, let's see what they can do. Saints in a really good position. And looks like B is where they want to go. Yet again. Going to change it back up. But yeah, this honestly is going, you know, obviously about the way Saints would love it to go. I mean, this is their pick. But Death or Glory, honestly, in a great position already. In fact, they've already gotten 1 to round out the score. Is also great. Now, Reason getting a double headshot, making it look easy. And again, opening up the side a lot better. So the rotation may come into A now that they've gotten all the kills. There's still one person over there. It's Daz. He's going to have a good time, but the rotation is coming in. Now, Payback. Ooh, this might be big from him. He's on the way around. If he can get this kill here. No, he gets caught with barely his knife out into the switch. Now it's falling apart. Daz able to get 1, but not 2. Now Flaffy in a 1v4 situation, and it's not a good one.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do a lot here. I mean, Sid and Reason are low. If he's able to find Inverness, he might actually go for it, but I don't think he knows how low these players are in Inverness. He definitely knows how to connect his headshots. Gets Flaffy with a clean, nice one, especially against a scoped AR. Like, that's not the easiest thing to do. So Saints seems like they will remain unbeaten for now. And again, this is their mapping, and this is the T side. So they're just priming themselves to be in a very good position to take home the map without actually much battle here. I mean, Death or Glory, sure, they won their first game. That's kind of as much as you expected from them, right? Like, at no point did we expect them to win both. But we can expect Sakura to be a little bit more close. I mean, we're not even at the side switch yet, so there's still plenty of rounds to go. But for now, Saints just look very dominant, and probably will get their 6th one as well with Death or Glory only on pistols here.
Yeah, not looking the best with the pistols. But again, if they could, get some of that stabbing action headshot, and so that is going to be one weapon able to be grabbed, which they don't know, but they actually can push out and get it, which they do. So it's going to be a lot better. Now, if they can go ahead and take out Star Fox in the back, would help out. That would also help them find out the bomb is there as well. But looks like he's going to make a rotation in, so that's going to change. Kyloff trying to see if he can potentially open it up for himself to get himself a weapon, but there is someone in the back. The gentleman will be able to provide covering support and just gets tapped through the smoke. That's just unfortunately and unlucky, but here we go into it, and Star Fox actually able to take down Payback, and the weapon is now on the ground and not even in use. Now we're back to only pistols. Oh, this is going to be huge. Reason's going to be able to take down COD, leaving it down to Daz yet again. Daz continuously keeps getting put into this position, and Reason is on fire right now. He is up to 9 kills already. He's the MVP for the team. He's not the one you want to be running into with a pistol.
Yeah, another player I want to highlight is Infinix, right? Like, he had 7 kills in the whole game on first map, and now he has 7 in, 7 rounds. So he's second fragging the server, and definitely doing very good for himself. So again, this just shows some players have their favorite maps, and it seems like for Infinix, it's definitely Sakura. He's doing very well right now. Now, I don't think Death or Glory have really found any openers in this game, so they are switching up their game style. They are getting very aggressive now. They're trying to push up, trying to take a different approach to the game. What they're doing is not working, so it's very smart of them to try something else, see what happens. But for now, Gentleman is going to deny that dream as he takes down 1 and is definitely looking for more blood. That's going to be Reason getting some damage in, but nothing more than that. Bomb still dropped down, so I think Saints just kind of try to slowly open up bomb sites once again.
Yeah, I think that's the plan, and looks like, again, B is where they want to be. Rotating over, and so the 2 players on A will have to make their way over very soon. Sid trying to block it off, can provide himself with some extra covering support. The grenade's not going to meet anybody. So again, trying to find a way into the bomb side. I mean, really the only one that's in the way is Flaffy. But he's the only one really in there. A little bit of damage coming in from some nades. Coming across, some firing has been happening. A little bit of damage being dealt. But there's a lot of pings happening. And it looks like the bomb will be planted. So now, this could be big if they just spray that wall. Infinix could get an entire ace. But looks like he's not going to be able to fire in the exact same spot. Now, Gentleman and COD able to get 1 each. 3 versus 4. Still doable. Oh, Reason is so damaged. Oh, 2 HP. Flappy taking out Gentleman. This is big. It's basically 2 1/4. Reason might be able to. Yep, he just gets a little bit of breath blown on him, and he goes down. Now, Infinix, Star Fox, both go down, and the defuse is coming in, and we'll be good.
Bomb has been defused.
Bomb has been defused, and that's Death or Glory on 2, finally finding their second round here. It could be a little bit too late, but I mean, again, if they're at least able to take this last round of the final of the, this last round of the half, then they could be in an alright position. I mean, if they get the pistol, next one, we are potentially looking at a 5-6. Obviously, I'm getting way ahead of myself, but I'm just saying there is a way back in this game for them, but they definitely would love to get this round, so, it's not as, they don't have to kind of chase Saints as far as they would have to otherwise.
No, definitely not. So, I mean, again, best case scenario, they can trail pretty close, go into the next round, get the pistol, and the round after that, and then they'll be in a really nice position. Oh, Gentleman coming from the sky, flying down. Kyloff going down. Now, Gentleman doing it again. Caught, headshot as well. And now it's kind of falling apart. Infinix taking down Daz, and leaving Flaffy and Payback. Flaffy, not in a bad spot. See if he can take down Reason, which he does. That's at least 1. Now he's got somebody on the other side of the wall from him, and they're slowly moving together.
Yeah, Flaffy, he's just jiggle picking everything. He knows there are many different spots that Saints players could be in, but there's like 3 faces staring at him on the other side of the wall, so this is going to be a hard one. The bomb does come in, and that's going to actually be Payback getting 1 in. 2v5 turned into a 2v3, definitely doable, and what a way that would be to get Death or Glory back in this game. It seems like it's gonna get denied as Star Fox finds one. Ooh, but Flaffy's still in the game, very low on HP, but I mean, he's still fighting, and that's all that matters. So he's gonna try to push in, try to find some more frags. The bomb is kind of running low. Molly coming in as well. Ooh, and the smoke. All right, let's see this. Ninja defuse. Ninja defuse. Okay. Yeah, they just, you know, deny that ninja in style. That nade just takes any chances away from Death or Glory. That's gonna be Saints on 7 rounds in the first half. Only 3 more to take it over the edge. And honestly, if they win the pistol, you know, probably win the consecutive one as well. Is that how it usually goes in these pistols? And at that point, they're at 9-2. So Death or Glory, they desperately need this pistol round. Otherwise, I think it's very close from being over.
Yeah, that's pretty much easy peasy, basically. I mean, ooh, Reason's coming in with dualies right off the bat. Looking real nice. But yeah, as we move forward into it, we'll be able to see Reason. Are they just going to make it a match point in just 2 rounds? Death of Glory have a good chance still. They're running into B all wholeheartedly, all of them. Reason trying to use some dualies, but doesn't work out. Flappy takes him down. Sid, and trying to be in a better position, gets 1 and 2, but he's getting pinged from the side, and now they're going to go ahead and put the bomb down. Working their way into it. We've got Inverness. No, they didn't put the bomb down. What? Where's he going?
I have no idea what is happening right here, but Death or Glory, they are finding themselves in a disadvantage, a huge one to be exact. 1v3, payback, pretty much 1 bullet away from death. Now, he does have the bomb, and yeah, I don't know the answer to your question. Where is he going? Seems like he's not going to be walking for a long time here. Star Fox takes him down. Saints on 8, just overall very dominant on Sakura, and Death or Glory still not finding their way back into this game.
Yeah, that... I feel like he should have just went ahead and went for that plant. At least they would have got the money for it. Oh, man. Yeah, this is not looking good. Death of Glory really need to use those pistols to their advantage for secure a rifle and then group up together to be able to try and grab another one. I mean, I honestly think it's pretty much their only chance here is massive groupings and stealing.
Gentlemen, he's trying to see what he can do towards that house position, but there's a push coming in, and gentlemen, he's just so quick, just so aware, just spinning around like a Beyblade, and finding another one. Card goes down to Kylov. Quick on refrag, that's at least something, but still only 3 pistols in their name, and only Flaffy has an upgraded one. This is going to be so hard, like there's no way they can push in and do much. Now, that house position is right now taken by Death of Glory, so they could potentially try to overwhelm Star Fox here. He's doing a good job at jiggling, gets 1, and still not aware about house, but he's also not getting pushed. Kylon trying to see, tries to go for the jump shot there, but doesn't really find anything. Gets exposed as well, so now it's only going to be him. You know, 1v4 against Rifle is very, very hard to do. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He gets found by Star Fox, and it's Saints 1 round away from taking this one home.
Yep, though this is going to be the end-all, be-all for Death or Glory. I mean, 9-2. This is not looking the best. They're going to have to buy everything possible. Try everything they can to make this happen. They now have to have 7 rounds in a row to be able to tie it up with Saints. Not impossible, but definitely going to be difficult to do considering how Saints have been playing. Saints basically needs to fumble everything here, I think, for Death or Glory to be able to possibly bring this back.
Yeah, I mean, 8 unanswered rounds in a row coming in from Death or Glory, where they've been struggling, where they've barely found 2 in this whole game. This does not smell like a comeback to me at all. And especially with them losing another player, it's a 4v5 now, and they just lack any action, I'd say. Like, they're trying to hold angles, but ultimately Saints are a bit better at aiming, so they just kind of win these gun duels 1 by 1. And there you go, Inverness, he finds another, so now there's only 3 players left. COD is flashed out of his mind, and he's definitely trying to find something here, perhaps buy a drink, some energy drinks, you know, to keep him energized, but he definitely needs all the energy, as this is for it. This is for everything right here, and COD still not exactly finding a frag, and might actually get the worst timing possible. Oh, that's a Kylov getting a frag on Gentleman, though. Starfox next in line, and he's able to go 1-for-1 trade. So 2v3, I mean, this is a bit better than that 3v5, and Kylov finds another. He's just playing out of his mind right now. Might hear this player on the left side as well. For now, he's not exactly going to peek it. He's going to play a little bit slow. Oh, but any time now, the engagement is going to come in. The timing comes in, and that's Reason taking down a Kylov now. All left up to Flaffy, and he hasn't even made his way onto the bomb site just yet. So he might find this one player. He does, but doesn't get the frag, and that's going to be pretty bad, as now they know his position. Rotation, very speedy rotations coming in from Reason as well, so pretty much doesn't know whereabouts of both these players. He tries to drop a smoke, 20 seconds on the clock. He has to make his move quick. He has to find at least one player before he plants a bomb, otherwise he'll just get run down and overwhelmed. This seems almost impossible. He's going to actually go for the bomb plant. That's such an aggressive play, and it seems like, yeah, he's getting protected. He gets away as well. If he could make his way towards house here, I think that would be huge. He is trying to stay alive. Oh, he hears Reason coming as well. The defuse comes in, but they don't actually expect him from here. He's going to scope in. Now they know. Now he's trying to pre-fire. And yeah, that's very good from Saints. A very nice refrag there, you know, just not allowing him to get any 1v1 gun duels. And so Saints win out the second map, you know, in a very, very strong fashion. 10-2. The first one was as close as it could really get, 9-9. But in this one, Saints just dominant, showing what they're really capable of.
Yeah, they really did, and they brought it hard. I mean, Saints definitely loving Sakura and really being able to take it home and not lose it in a 2-2. So nice 1-1. And so that's going to be both of them going to be able to get a point for themselves. And now Saints is going to be chilling with 4 points. Death or Glory with 3 points. So now Elevate in a really bad position. Now we still have one more matchup today. We still have Winstrike versus STREETEIGHT. And so now that's going to leave the potential for STREETEIGHT to be absolutely decimated. And then it'll be up to Elevate to kind of figure out where they're going to be landing. So STREETEIGHT has a possibility of just getting absolutely thrown out. So going up against Winstrike, they really have to try their hardest to be able to do that and get a round. If they can get only a single round, Elevate will be gone entirely. Just because now that everybody's on 3 and 4 on Group A, that is it. The only person they're fighting against is Elevate to stay in this. Now, Noobs has 3, and Winstrike has 3. So, again, based off the balancing and everything, Elevate, this is their only chance to be able to stay in this, is for Winstrike to absolutely decimate STREETEIGHT like they did to Elevate and do 20-0.
Yeah, I think if you're an Elevate fan or if you're an Elevate player, you're just rooting for STREETEIGHT to do the absolute worst type of gameplay that they can, because yeah, it's very true, right? Like right now it's between Elevate and STREETEIGHT, and we don't exactly know the round balance, so it could be possible that even if STREETEIGHT lose both games, they still make it through just on round balance. But just to be sure, you know, just to have that extra safety measure, definitely winning one game out of this best of 2 would do wonders for them, as then, you know, we would have 3 teams advancing to the playoffs, and unfortunately we would have to say goodbye to Elevate, as they didn't get any rounds in their last best of 2 against Winstrike. And so yeah, we'll take a quick look at highlights of this game, and then we should get into the second best of 2 shortly. This was such a nice play, such a nice clutch, you know, that 1v3, just getting the diffuser off the bomb, and then there was not enough time left to actually defuse the bomb. So that was a nice clutch coming in from Saints, and I mean, from here on out, they just dominated, right? Like every single round, they were just able to pretty much find more kills than the opposite team. It wasn't even like crazy strats, they were just simply out-aiming Death or Glory, and since Death or Glory didn't really take any like very original approaches to either the CT or the T side, it was pretty easy for Saints to just decide and figure out what Death or Glory are doing, and then do the perfect things they should do to counter that. So props to them, very dominant performance here coming from Saints. And yeah, overall a very nice game. I mean, all players performing well, especially in Vernus, you know, somebody who we talked about in the first game who perhaps didn't perform that well. He was the only one not up to double digits in terms of the kill department. In this game, he was up to the same level of kills, that being 7 in 7 rounds. So yeah, props to him for making a nice individual comeback here.
Yep, and I mean, this just got obliterated so fast. I mean, those highlight reels didn't last very long because, you know, there's only, you know, 2 real rounds, you know, there for the opposite side. But now look at this. So Star Fox being our MVP for, man, it's not bad. I mean, look at that 1.82. I mean, solid, just nothing else, just 2 kill death ratio. So dude is rocking out, getting double kills versus death. So that if you want to talk about impact, 2-for-1 specials are always better. And now Flaffy was the best, but not in the best case scenario for this one. But obviously the rounds were, only 2 for death or glory. So, it is what it is. But 0.89, so almost there, and then 8.6. Yeah, I mean, this is about what you would expect for, a 10-2 here. I mean, rocking it out. Just lots of red for the side of death or glory. Especially even on the flip, they got absolutely nothing. And then just most of the rounds. There are 5 rounds that they had just a complete obliteration.
Yeah, this was a very one-sided game, nothing close to what we saw in the first one on Sandstone. So I would actually say props to Death or Glory for picking Sandstone. I think they came into this matchup at a disadvantage. They knew that definitely Saints are the better team on most maps, but they were very smart at picking Sandstone where they could actually find, because we see what happens when we go to kind of more conventional maps like Sakura. Yes, Saints, they are just simply better on those more standard maps, but they were smart about it. They picked Sandstone and they were able to get 1 point, which I think is ultimately what matters most for them. Here we can see the kills again, so this time very equal in the department of Saints. And for Death or Glory, I mean, Flaffy and Kylov did kind of show off, but yeah, there wasn't really any like big underperformers. There weren't any really players like sometimes you have a player on 1, 2, 3 kills. No, everyone is kind of doing the same, but the same just not good together, so you can see just by the kills, Saints were, just a little bit better, especially in those 1v1 gun duels.
Yeah, and Sid was the only one not in double digits this time, so unfortunately not everybody has to be there. But the fact of the matter, he's still third place out of everything, with his rating being higher than 2 of his teammates just based off his impacts. So, I mean, dude did a great job in what he did, but unfortunately just, didn't have double digits, but that's okay. So, I mean, that's the overall kills, stats, statistics, and everything and how everybody did, which, again, congratulations to both of these teams for grabbing themselves a point. Our overall MVP, Star Fox, 29 kills, KD of 1.53, and a rating of 1.46. Dude did a wonderful job. 29 kills across 2 games. I mean, the fact that the second game didn't last too long, that's still an average of 14.5 per game. So let's just say 15. That's not bad. That is very commendable, and that is definitely really, really good for the side of Saints. And, of course, that's more than likely why they're able to just, walk that home. So not too bad. And now, again, both of them are going to be able to secure themselves at a nice position in Group A, and ultimately make sure that they're going to be going into the playoffs out of this group stage. Now, again, Winstrike will be coming up next, going against STREETEIGHT. Will we see any crazy shenanigans coming in? We don't know. Again, Winstrike, it's just really weird. Like I said, it's really weird. I think they really primed themselves at the beginning to just be like, oh no, we're not that good this time around. We did a bad. And then, they didn't play for a while, for a couple of days, and were able to just absolutely come back with a vengeance. So now, I mean, STREETEIGHT, based off their stats and who they've played before in their past, they've been able to do fairly decently and hopefully can go up against Winstrike in total, but we'll have to find out. Again, Group A is now essentially completed, and all we're waiting on is that last and final matchup for Group B.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting matchup. Again, I think the second matchup of these days has been kind of the more interesting one most of the time. Most surprising as well, I think, there was 2 days ago where we saw that Elevate Winstrike game that's going to get mentioned a lot. It's definitely a huge huge thing in Standoff 2 history. I don't think that has happened much before. But either way, it's going to be interesting, the final game, kind of completing the group stage, making sure to see which teams are going to make it to the finals and in what positions, where are they going to start. I do believe that after the second game, we'll have a graphic of just showing, first of all, the groups, the positions of every, kind of the 100% confirmed positions of every single team. And also we should see a playoff bracket. So that's going to be very interesting to see kind of how these, feeds, how these seedings go, who plays against who, because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Again, playoffs are going to be double elimination. So every team that makes it to the playoffs, they're going to have 2 chances, to keep playing, right? So if they lose one game, that's fine. You can keep fighting. If you only lose one game, well, you're gonna win the playoffs, right? So I think it's great that in the playoffs there is this double elimination thing where you're not exactly out immediately. You know, you play these 6 days, 6 excruciating days in a row, and then you just have to lose one game and go out. But we'll figure that out after this short break, 2 minutes, and we'll be back with Winstrike versus STREETEIGHT.
Alrighty, thanks guys for hanging out for that short little 2-minute break. We just need a little bit extra time to make sure that STREETEIGHT is ready to go up against Winstrike. I mean, this is no joke. Very stressful. After seeing Winstrike go up against Elevate and do that, I know that just awful game for Elevate. It's a bit stressful. They're going to make sure that that does not happen today. So Winstrike is ready to go, and STREETEIGHT should be here soon. We're going to be waiting for them to get into the lobby. But, of course, we got to check out all their lovely stats, statistics, backgrounds, and everything that goes with that here in just a second. Again, this is the last game of the group stage. It's our last day of the group stage. Now, to let you guys know, if you guys haven't put it on your calendar yet, the 20th, 21st, and 22nd will be our playoffs. So put that on your calendar. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you have that notification on. So when that goes live, you're ready to go to hop in and have a good time with us. But those are going to be the days for that. And then the 25th is going to be the finals. It will be a best of 5. And so that's going to be a lot of days going into it. But again, Winstrike.
So it's going to be hard. It's definitely going to be very hard for Street 8 to even get a game here. So again, this is kind of more updated info on Winstrike. Now, I know that it says their data foundation is 2023, but obviously they've been around for way longer. I think this might be like data foundation as like their new lineup or new org or whatever, but either way, yeah, they've been around the block. All right, they've seen what happens. And if we look at their recent results, yeah, that 2-0 against Team Elevate is probably the most significant one. Now, they did draw against Noobs, which is quite interesting. This was, I believe, the first game of the group stage where, yeah, Noobs were able to take a game off Winstrike, so it's entirely possible for Street 8 to do the same. We can see them winning Death or Glory, that just played as well. We can actually see them losing to Saints once, but this was, well, more than a month ago, so things do change. Now, Mysterio is kind of the captain and the leading force behind Street 8, I'd say. We can just see him play very, very well in most situations. He's also the in-game leader, I believe, or the captain, whatever you want to call it. Then also SLV, Floods are no toxic or not toxic, one of those. Well, he's definitely not toxic, I do believe. And then we also have Flaxies. So they have a right roster. I mean, we've seen all of these players perform well. But again, this is Winstrike that they're going up against. So all of these players will have to perform to their absolute max capacity.
Yep, and by all means, they are a well-seasoned, been around the block, plenty type of team from 2017. And they've existed for many years, but ultimately, they're getting into these higher stages of play, and they won't be leaving anytime soon, so we'll be able to find out how they will be performing. Now, as far as their performance in history, they've 1-1 Noobs, so similar to Winstrike, and they 1-1 Elevate, beat Death or Glory, beat Saints, and beat Death or Glory 2-0, so there's just a lot of winning going on here. And a lot of beating everyone out. But again, I'd like to highlight Noobs and Elevate. I mean, don't be wrong. Winstrike obliterated Elevate, but the fact that the 1-1 still with Noobs does make it good. And again, also beating out Saints as well. So they're priming themselves to be a big opponent. In the past, though, it has been 2-0 and a 2-1. So they have definitely been able to at least get one round off of them. But now, granted, that was also last year. Now, the most recent one, which was in February, that is going to be a 2-0. So we'll find out if they're going to be able to do anything better this time around. Now, granted, that was in the minor where we were there. So it was a good matching, but unfortunately, Winstrike was a absolute powerhouse that entire minor, and it was just awful for the teams to go up against Winstrike. It's like you saw Winstrike and you knew bad things was going to happen. But as we move on, now this obviously is going to be one of those moments where those kills are through the roof. You have Pronex. He is just 1 kill away from 1,300 kills, and it's a 1.31 rating versus Flaxy, who is going to be chilling at 210 kills, the 1.08. So not bad, but again, it seems a bit one-sided. Now, this is a little bit better. Mysterio chilling with his 712 kills. He has a solid 1 on his rating. Nothing else. No points. No nothing. Just a solid 1 with Zeiss chilling with 1,500 kills.
Yeah, well, we can definitely see that the kill difference isn't that big as it was in the first game. We saw, I think on the Saints side, there were players who had like 8 times the amount of kills that players on Death or Glory had. Now, this one is a bit closer. Mysterio is definitely a player that we've seen perform well. And honestly, even though the ratings are tilted towards Winstrike quite a lot, like there's only one player above, like I think that was one exact rating, then the rest of Street 8 is going to be negative rating. Even though, considering this fact, I do think that Street 8 might be one of the dark horses of this tournament, right? Like, we've kind of seen them play all right, play all right against the big teams. But I do think that, as we saw in the minor as well, once it gets closer to the finals, they just get better and better. And when we looked at their recent results as well, like, they've been performing really well, right? Like, I think they won 4 out of the last 5 official matches, and all of them were against top teams. So, yeah, I wouldn't eliminate Street 8 out of the top three talk here.
No, I definitely wouldn't either. Now, Necro, again, there's so many kills for Winstrike. I mean, 1,500 again. 800, though, from SLV. Another dude who pops off really strong. Again, the ratings are a little bit further apart, 1.19 and then 0.97. So we've now, we've entered that under 1.0 area. But again, those experience, just because one is 1,500, one is 800, doesn't mean that it's going to be guaranteed. But again, they're historically speaking, they are able to and have fought against each other. Now here's Lighting and Floodzor. Actually, Floodzor being the one to have the majority of the kills here with 1,238 and actually beating out Lighting and actually coming close more to Winstrike than anything when it comes to the kills range. So not bad and definitely giving him a good chance. So we get all the players in both these teams have a great chance of popping off, doing good. It just ultimately comes down to that timing and placement. So I think this will definitely be a better matching than when it was up against Elevate. And this should be just a lot nicer, closer games. Now, is Winstrike a little bit more primed to win? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just a bit. They definitely have the stats and the chops to do it. But that doesn't mean STREETEIGHT can't get one. Or maybe in a small percent chance in an alternate universe be able to take down the 2-0. But if they can at least take one, especially their map pick, if they can really change this up and be crazy with it, well, first off, it secures them and Elevate gets booted, guaranteed. But if not, just grab some rounds. Grab as many rounds as possible, and then Elevate will be dipping out. And then you have a chance to not play Winstrike again going into the playoffs. You got a chance to get a little bit higher up in that rankings to not be in the 6th or 5th place, to be able to work your way up into the $2,000 or $3,500 range.
Yeah, I think that would be the best case scenario for them. Now, we are slowly getting into the map picks. I think they should come any second. And honestly, I do expect to see maybe one unconventional map again. I don't think we're going to see just Sakura and Breeze or Sakura and Province or Province and Breeze. And there you go. We'll see if my prediction comes true. Probably not, because Sandstorm's getting banned. And is it going to be in Rust? Yes. So we are going to see exactly what I said we won't see. Breeze and Province, it is coming up. And actually Sakura getting banned. I like this. I really do like this. Now today we will see actually 4 maps, which I think is better than seeing like the same maps like Sakura and Breeze all over again. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Breeze and Province coming right up. Now STREETEIGHT is starting off on Breeze, and if we look at their win rates so far, I mean, it definitely is one of their better maps. But the thing is, Winstrike, they have a bigger win rate on it, 9% more on average one on Breeze. And then once we get into Province, yeah, that is just Winstrike's territory. We saw what they did on Province against Elevate. Yeah. And oh boy, I think, probably not a repeat, but STREETEIGHT will definitely have to fight hard to find any advancements in Province. So honestly, I think it's good that that STREETEIGHT's mapping is coming up first, as that might again give them that kind of more confidence. They haven't exactly been demolished on Province yet, so they're like, okay, sure, we can maybe win this one game, and then once we get to Province, probably all hell breaks loose, and we fight for our lives basically. But at least they have that early advantage on Breeze, where they can kind of chill out a little bit more, start on their map pick and go from there.
Yeah, this is going to be the best case scenario. I mean, with that, technically one extra map of, professional abilities, on Breeze definitely helps out. But, Winstrike with that 66% to 34% prediction, I mean, it not too bad. I mean, obviously, we kind of expect Winstrike to be able to do the same thing, right? And be able to more than likely take the best of 2, but the fact that STREETEIGHT still has 34%, there are people who do believe in them, and ultimately giving them a chance to take it home at least. And I think a 66 to 34 is basically saying they can take one map, right? They can take one.
I'm honestly surprised by these votings. Like, I would expect to see at least, 70, 80% on Winstrike. I do believe it could be because, like, it's a best of 2, so if it was a best of 1 or a best of 3, yeah, probably ratings is going more towards Winstrike's side of things. But in the best of 2, it's entirely possible for these teams to take at least one home.
Yeah, definitely. And again, STREETEIGHT, I still think has a chance to take one of these home. Breeze? Well, I guess we'll find out. When we get into the first map, you won't be able to. I mean, it's definitely the best bet. I mean, Province is definitely looking at, being able to, necessarily be, obviously going towards Winstrike because their rating in it is just huge. So we're just gonna have to again wait and see what's possible. Being that they chose it, it's their basically one of their best ones as well. At least going up against. I mean, the scores are basically the exact same against Winstrike from 5-2 to 5-3 for the side. I mean, even though they have one technically an extra loss, that is technically another map played, and depending on how that map went down, it's still more experience.
Yeah, I think on Breeze, it's going to be very interesting to see on which side, STREETEIGHT starts on. Because I think if they start on CT, they'll be in a pretty good position to, again, build that early lead. And, we can go from there. But if they start on the T side, it's just going to be an uphill battle. And sure, it might become an easier game once they actually get to the side switch. But honestly, I think if STREETEIGHT could start on CD side on Breeze, this would be the perfect start for, the whole best of two. Their map pick, starting on the, better side, technically. I think this would be very doable to get at least one map if STREETEIGHT do that. But if they start on the T side, it's going to be a bit harder. And again, they desperately need that Breeze map, because if they don't get it, well, they're probably not going to get Province. Although, again, all predictions are out the window in this group stage. But yeah, I'm still quite confident that, Winstrike definitely have the guts and the whereabouts to win on Province. So at this point, it's not like they desperately need it. Again, I think as they have the same points as Elevate, they do have a better round balance just because of what Winstrike did to Elevate. So technically, they have already advanced just off round balance. But at the same time, I think it would be very great for them to get that security, get one more win, and then they would even rival some of the other teams, I think, in the group. What is it? It's Winstrike, it's STREETEIGHT, it's Elevate. What's the fourth one? Can you refresh my memory?
Yeah, so we have Revile, Saints, Death or Glory, and then chilling in with Noobs, along with Winstrike. So
Noobs, yeah, there you go. Yeah, they could go toe-to-toe with Noobs, battling for the second spot. But we'll really have to go and see. We are getting into the first round of things. And it's going to be Winstrike starting off on the CD side and STREETEIGHT on the T side of things. Ooh, bullets flying both directions already. This is going to be huge if they are able to get it.
Bomb has been planted.
Oh, he does go down now. 1v3 situation. Zeiss left in this position, left to find 3 heads and a defuse. That's such a big ask. He's not able to find first. He's low on HP as well. Still keeps pushing in, keeps fighting. That's definitely what you want to see. Now he goes for the defuse, but just denied as soon as he starts trying it. And that's going to be STREETEIGHT finding their first round. Now, granted, they're not starting on the CD side. I kind of said it would be better for them to start on, but they still find their first pistol on the T side, which is very, very valuable for them.
Yeah, it definitely is. This is the best case scenario for them to be able to secure a round. And honestly, then at this point, well, they've done better than Elevate. They got one on the board, so that's definitely better than nothing. So they're definitely doing good. They've got that first one. And honestly, their stuff was looking really, really nice. Now we get to see Floodzor coming in with one of my favorites, the P90. Let's see if he can do anything with that. He is pushing up a fair bit into the B area, getting closer to it, but I don't think ultimately he's going to be able to go for that push.
No, I think Winstrike, again, with USPs, we do know that they can rip, but it's just going to be a little bit hard against these upgraded rifles, utility, even a P90 on Floodzor. We know what that P90 can do against pistols. So far, so good. I mean, Winstrike not really doing anything crazy just yet, just slowly executing their game plan. And it's gonna be STREETEIGHT pushing on the B bomb side. That's actually one frag found with the USP. That is quite huge. Now, the bomb is making its way towards the bomb side, but there you go, it is planted. So this should be a pretty easy one for STREETEIGHT. I mean, even though Winstrike have a player advantage here, they're still in a very good position to just, you know, run them down. Floods are again on that P90. As soon as he peeks, he gets a nice frag. And actually, refrags are coming in. Winstrike are making this possible. Again, refrags, but it's only Pronix left alive. And he does get one with the USP. How is this so close? 1v1 with all the team had was USPs. And oh no, SLV is missing his shots. He cannot miss another one, and he does not. He does take down that final chance that Winstrike had and secure the second. But that was way too close for my liking there.
Yeah, yeah, that was way more than it needed to be. But I mean, look at this. Let me 1 headshot, 2 headshot, 3 headshot. I mean, all of them coming around the board, but finally it came into the better placement. So STREETEIGHT in a nice spot. 2 already.
Yeah, I mean, now it comes on for the rifle rounds. Now is where things get interested. We've seen many times where one team is doing really good, you know, in those pistols. They get the pistol, get the next one, and then they kind of all fall apart in the rifles. And as there are more rifle rounds, way more rifle rounds than pistols, they're obviously more important. So it's always interesting to see how these teams approach and adapt when they actually come to playing with the rifles.
Yeah, and so now this is really where it opens up. Can they do it? And they can compete against a Winstrike team. Fully bought up. Aside from lighting, but that also may be, you know, his choice.
Yeah, this is very slow so far. STREETEIGHT, they don't want to make any mistakes. They know how important this game is to them. And obviously, they don't want to lose it just by playing dumb. So they are trying to play very smart. They're trying to have any advantage they can in this game. And so far, it's going all right. I mean, they do lose one player, but still the bomb is slowly making its way towards the bomb site. Actually, one player is already clearing it, so it should be pretty primed for taking if they move fast.
Yeah, definitely our Envy able to get himself another one, so they are holding it down nice. Same for Zeiss getting Flood's Orb. Now, Flaxy able to get one. Now it's 2 versus 4. It's a better option, doing better. But can they, well, first off, get the Bob and be able to make a choice? I mean, B is completely open, but we're going to see a huge push. Envy pushed so hard up. I don't know if they're going to be ready for this. This is going to be a huge peak, but not. Toxic is going to be here and is able to secure it. And now the round is over, but they do survive with 2 rifles and their armor, so looking nice.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Those rifle rounds, they can either make or break your team and your chances of winning. And definitely for now, Winstrike seem like the better riflers. We can see very clean kills coming in from 2 or 3 players here. And even though it is a bit close in that 2v3, ultimately they take the victory. And now, STREETEIGHT have completely bought up. Like, if they lose this round, they probably have to go eco. I mean, it's not the best buy as it is. So, yeah, Necro, he just gets a double straight off the bat. And that's going to be a nice refrag. So still possibilities here for STREETEIGHT. Even though they've lost 2 players, they are moving up towards that B bomb side of things, and they should be able to at least throw some util here, throw some smokes, try to get on the bomb side. Bomb plant would be great, and if they're able to secure the retake, I mean, that's amazing. But again, I am getting ahead of myself here as Necro. He's thirsty for more. He wants to get those kills. He has already gotten 2. Throws a nice nade there that might deal some damage, although doesn't look like it. So, STREETEIGHT, their position is perfectly known, but they're just not committing just yet. They might be trying to, you know, go somewhere else, but Zeiss, look at that position. If STREETEIGHT decide to rotate, they're going to get taken down. It seems like they are going to push that B bomb site. Now Toxic already made it onto the bomb site. But so many different players, so many different angles to watch, and he's not able to get a frag. Goes down. Now only 2, and now Zeiss is quick on the backstab. He gets a double. That was such a good play from Zeiss. Completely cutting off rotation, giving so much info to Winstrike. They can all indeed rotate B because A is completely clear. And then as soon as STREETEIGHT push on B, he can just go in with a quick backstab. So yeah, perfect play there from Zeiss.
Yeah, I mean, just executed perfectly from that. And now we are tied up 2-2. What are we going to see? I mean, is Winstrike on their way to just go ahead and pull this back? I mean, we are going to see, I mean, a halfway decent buy from STREETEIGHT, but I mean, look at what Winstrike has. They have everything they could possibly want. Well, let's see if the B push works. I mean, it's not necessarily where they're going to be going, but they're trying to get some picks, maybe some information. Everything's kind of spread across. But it also could be A. I mean, the bomb is in a nice secure position. It's not too far out of the way. So it's doable. It's where it needs to be. But we're now racking it down. Timer is ticking away. No picks, no real information. Aside from now our A players are scooting up a little bit. But still not a whole lot of information.
Yeah, very slow, very methodical here coming in from STREETEIGHT. Again, they know how much this game means to them. They know how important it is to win. So not making any mistakes for now, but also not really aggressing. So, if you don't make mistakes, you can't really win. So at this point, they're just very, very stagnant. Just trying to see what they can do. Still 40 seconds left on the clock and no engagements yet. Now they are grouping up towards A, and this is the perfect call. There's only one player on A side. This should be a clean take of A, and from there they can probably secure the retake. So not toxic. He is gonna peek his head a little bit here, push in, and they should be able to just clear the bomb side. Only one player actually on the right. They're not expecting this. All right, SLV does get the frag, and no rotations are coming in, but that's gonna be another frag found from Flax. He's almost able to get a double there. 3v4 retake now. And Winstrike, I mean, they are probably going to go for this, but this just doesn't look like they would be able to get it.
No, definitely not, but I mean, it's looking pretty good. The bomb is ticking away, and now it's up to the last 3 players to be able to get into the bomb site and pull it down, and that's going to be one going down. Lighting, although, is able to get one safe for Product, not Toxic, able to get one in Mysterio. But the last one, and now STREETEIGHT able to put themselves back into the lead. That was good. A lot of crossing, a lot of coverage, and that's kind of what you have to be doing right now.
Yes, STREETEIGHT get their first rifle round, and I mean, this is a great start. Even if we look at, the score, 3-2, and they've done this on the T side. So, if they secure one more round, that would be perfect. If they get 2 more, they're in a great position to, once they get to the second half of things, to be in a very good position to just play well on CD side and not really need to get that many rounds. That is a nice boost coming in from Lighting. He's gonna keep pushing. He's gonna keep trying to find any advancements. This is a very just offhand position. Now they are kind of expecting him as nades are being thrown. I think this position either gets checked, gets pre-fired, or he gets a double. He peeks, but that's dead. Just Flaxies fully flash, still takes him down. So Winstrike, they definitely have the info, but they don't have that one player anymore, and that might be huge. As STREETEIGHT are making a quick approach towards B, there's only 2 defenders there, and this boost might come in as well. So yeah, this is just overall perfect situation, perfect setup coming in from STREETEIGHT. But now they have to capitalize on nice boost coming in, but Mysterio just quicker, expecting that. So he's gonna get the frag, and now 3v5, smoke's being thrown. This is gonna be very hard for Winstrike to do much there.
They have expected all of the cheeky plays. Like, some of these you're like, they're going to get one. No, not even that attempted barrel stuff, push-up. I mean, that was just huge. Now, will they check the back? They do. SLV is ready, but not Toxic able to do that for himself. And, yeah, they're not even going to try that. Might as well save what they can, which is huge. Huge coming in. The fact that Winstrike with 2 players are calling a hold. That's just showing how dominating STREETEIGHT has been and what they're doing. I mean, the fact that they have now just forced Winstrike to do a 2-man hold, that the fact that they don't think that they are going to be able to successfully take anyone out or just to secure the round, and leaving them in a better position now to have 2 rifles going into what would be an entire pistol eco, putting them in a better position to maybe prime to pull some extra weaponry out of the hands of STREETEIGHT.
Yeah, STREETEIGHT surprising everyone here, I think. 4 rounds on the board, doing good in rifles now as well. And look at the money on the side of Winstrike, right? Like, if they lose this round, they probably have to force again. Like, their money is just not looking the best. So STREETEIGHT putting themselves in a great position to get the 5th, maybe even the 6th round here.
Yeah, definitely possible. I mean, they're really moving up, especially not Toxic able to come in here, get the first one. I mean, they're in a good position. SLV hanging on the back, seeing if he can make sure nobody does any kind of crazy shenanigans, which it looks like Envy is going to be the one trying to do that. And he gets him from the side, not even looking or checking that angle. So now it's 3 versus 4. Product's able to get 1. Wow, and they probably won't call for a hold again. But, I mean, Necro is pretty much on site.
Yeah, this is weird. This
Yeah.
could really go either direction. Ooh, they actually do find one. 2v3 now, but I think, yeah, they're just going to evacuate. I mean, Pronix
Again?
has that rifle, so he definitely wants to keep it. Yeah, that's a bit weird. I mean, Winstrike are playing
wait a
it
minute.
very safe right now. Not toxic. He might get caught off guard here, but definitely not enough time for the bomb defuse. He goes for the flick, but doesn't get it. So Necro doesn't exactly up. Oh, he does upgrade. All right. So yeah, they go for the save. Probably not the best call in terms of getting rounds, but it does mean that in this round they can fully buy up. Pronix and Necro can definitely drop weapons over to the team. So it's all right. It's good. It's definitely looking all right for them to, be in a good position to at least take this final round of play here.
Yeah, but I mean, STREETEIGHT's going to be buying everything they possibly would want. And, wow, STREETEIGHT is really rocking it really hard. And the fact that it's, again, Winstrike's pick. Or, sorry, I mean, their pick. I mean, it's their best case scenario. I mean, Winstrike on their pick, we'll see how they go in the province for the next one. But the fact that they're doing fairly decent. I mean, this is kind of their best selected one that they had available to them. And they're actually utilizing it to their advantage and what they probably should be doing. Now, Zeiss gets a nice headshot clear across the map and putting it into a better position for Winstrike to be able to pick up another one. They definitely don't want to be going into this as a 4-round flop. So maybe having only, 2, maybe 3 tops, best case scenario.
Laxies, he's slowly moving up here. He might be able to find one player if Winstrike do decide to peek mid aggressively, but for now, he's just taking map control, and that's exactly what STREETEIGHT need. They've been very good at establishing map control most of these rounds, at making sure that, they know their corners, they have checked their corners, and they know where they can push, what they can do. Now, there's 3 players towards mid. This is a very interesting setup. I think a lot of damage could be done from here if STREETEIGHT do decide to come that direction. They're just coming exactly into the trap. 3 players to be found, and Flaxies actually is going to eliminate Necro. Now 2 more. Very close. They throw some smokes, exchange nades, and now those smokes come in, but I think the bomb site, yeah, it's still pretty well guarded. Now that smoke comes in, that's pretty big. Pronix here will have to do a lot. 2 different angles, pretty much 180 angles to be checked here, and STREETEIGHT just making their way onto the site, killing lighting as well. 3v3 now. I think they could be able to just plant the bomb here, but that's very good, well played by Pronix. Gets one, gets refragged immediately. 2v2 now. Oh, and it's only Zeiss left in this clutch. They know where he is. He's going to get peeked from mid, and even if he doesn't get peeked, he might get shot in the back, and that's exactly what happens. Goes down, and that's STREETEIGHT. Just straight up dominating. What is it now? 6 rounds in a row? That's crazy. So, yeah, coming into the final round of the half, this is definitely not something we expected. Winstrike, especially after how they played against Elevate, you kind of expect them to get at least 3, 4, 5 rounds in this half, but nothing coming in just yet.
And I think that might have been our fault. We put a lot of expectation on Winstrike, and I mean, by all means, it's well deserved. I mean, if you do 20-0, I mean, what you supposed to expect less? But that's a lot of expectation, and maybe, the fear of, disappointment or the fear of being able to try and do that again. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. So they still have a chance. Not only do we have another game, and Winstrike's already in a good position anyways. That 2-0 put him in a really nice spot. So they're not worried about, getting kicked down or anything, so it's not bad. Really, I mean, STREETEIGHT needs this more than absolutely anything. Again, are they in a good spot anyways? Yeah, but, a better spot would be just grabbing this match. And after that, it's whatever. Obviously, if they can get 2-0 on Winstrike, I bet they'll feel good about that. But lots of burning happening. 2 people already going down to mollies and just incineration happening. Pronix down to just a sliver of HP. And here we go, Envy himself just getting obliterated, headshot down. And Pronix actually able to take down Mysterio. But They're trying to keep this down.
2v4, nothing really Winstrike can do in this. So much time ticked off the clock already, and that's just Pronix left and dead now. STREETEIGHT continuing this reign of terror over Winstrike, 7 rounds in a row. Now, if they win the pistol, they're pretty much on 9 rounds again. Not expecting this at all. Now, this is STREETEIGHT's map pick, so it makes a little bit more sense, but I think Winstrike even had a better win percentage on Breeze than STREETEIGHT did, so yeah, not sure at all what's happening here, but whatever it is, just keep it going if you're STREETEIGHT, because it's working very well.
It absolutely is. So yeah, they need to really keep going as hard as possible. If STREETEIGHT can take this pistol, this is going to be disgusting. Being able to get this round and the next one, that'll put them on match point and leave Winstrike in a massive deficit of rounds to make up.
All right, pistol underway. STREETEIGHT. They don't really need it as much. Winstrike need this more than air. This is such an important round for them to get if they want to get any chance back into this game. It seems like they have chosen B as their destiny for this round, slowly moving up, and it could be a good call. Now, STREETEIGHT player is now making a rotation, so they're potentially going to meet 2 or 3 players towards the B bomb side of things. But at the same time, Winstrike, they might go for this boost. That would be very interesting to see. What is that? Are they just watching the sky? The birds? Chirp? Perhaps? Calm down before the big attack. Anyways, here it goes. Here is the big attack. All of them are pushing in. Oh, lighting is flashed for days here, but still, they somehow make it on the bomb site. Nade's coming in, Flash is coming in, the bomb plant's coming in. The question is, can lighting plant it? Yes, he can. Now a 5v5 retake. This is going to be absolute chaos, and it's not toxic. First one to find a frag on X-Ice. Now Floodsar finds another. This is falling apart for Winstrike. Lighting is quick on the retake. Oh, and that's a great backstab, but Envy not able to connect. He stays alive. This is just chaos. Only one player for Winstrike left alive, and he goes down as well. STREETEIGHT somehow turned his 5v5 into a 4v0, playing absolutely out of their minds right now. 2 rounds away from causing a huge upset in this group stage.
I think it upsets an understatement. The fact that Winstrike started off from day one kind of, decent, and then absolutely cracked out of their minds, 20-0. And then the next time they play, they're going up against STREETEIGHT, and it's 8-2. I mean, I'm not saying they're inconsistent. I'm just saying, what's going on? Maybe they're inconsistently consistent.
I mean, even the crazier thing is that there's only one player really performing well on the side of STREETEIGHT. That is not toxic. Floodsar is kind of not too far behind him, but players like Flaxies, Mysterio, SLV, really not showing up that big, but still they're somehow able to connect 8 rounds in a row. So yeah, this is close. Some rounds could have definitely went Winstrike's direction, but at the same time, you got to give props to how not toxic is playing right now. He's single-handedly carrying his team into a better placement in the group.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's going strong. He's able to pull it ahead, then let him do it. Now Toxic actually able to get swapping out with Flaxy for the P90. Bloodzor here, keeping it close, trying not to burn himself, backing up, but that nade takes him out. And so now here we go for the run. Not Toxic got the P90, trying to stay close. A lot of damage has been dealt. Bomb has been planted. Smokes are out. Now it's all up to the potential ability of getting someone through the smoke.
Ooh, those pistols come in to play. I have no idea how Winstrike is finding his round. Out of all the rounds they could have gotten, somehow they'll find the one where they only have pistols. So, yeah, STREETEIGHT fumbling a little bit here, but I mean, at the same time, Winstrike is only on 3 rounds for now. So, they got to do this again. They got to do this with rifles, and yeah, one player is going to go down there, and Flaxy's the only one left with the rifle. He might save it, but the thing is, not really the best buy coming in from STREETEIGHT. He does kind of find Pronix off guard, but I think he might get shot in the back. No, he does stay alive for the next round. But yeah, look at the buy. Yeah, the buy is just not the greatest for STREETEIGHT.
No, but, they can lose an extra couple of rounds. I mean, they don't have to win that badly ahead, which is fine. Flaxy, gonna see if he can get some of those weapons back for his team. I mean, we got AP7s, the P90, FAL. I mean, that's doable, right? He can grab a few of those for his team. So now he's going to be pushing up, seeing what he can see. But we have a massive push going over to B. And that's not going to be good, because that's where all the pistols are. And unless someone can get a really nice headshot, which is absolutely possible, then there's not going to be a whole lot of fun. Now, here we go. He is rotating back around to maybe come up here and save the day.
STREETEIGHT. This would be an awesome round fight. And look at the minimap. There's actually a backstab coming in. This could be huge. Now, Winstrike do empty up the bomb site. Not Toxic's down. So the bomb site is still there, you know, and the players are also still there, but Not Toxic's definitely down. But this backstab coming in, this will be so huge if executed properly. And Winstrike, they are definitely taking their time. So this could be a very good find coming in from STREETEIGHT. Ooh,
Yeah,
will they be
Mysterio.
able to spot?
Ooh.
He's so slow on the 5-7 as well, so it's gonna be hard to find more than one. Pronix does find Flaxies, and Mysterio, he gets hurt, taken down. They're expecting this, and Winstrike. Could this be the comeback? I mean, they're starting to make a case for it. After losing a pistol, they're able to get 2 unanswered rounds, and now they're certainly looking a lot better.
Yeah, but now we are going to see STREETEIGHT buy up. They got all the goodies that they want. Or, well, can have. Now they're going to be able to have at least their armor, weapons, and a little bit of equipment to go along with it. They're still ahead by 4 rounds, so not too bad. They're able to, you know, still a nice lead. Now, if they could just, really at this point, if they could secure 1 good round, I think that'll put a little bit more on the nerves being on match point and be 5 rounds up. And then at that point, Winstrike has to do 5 uncontested rounds. And I think once they're at that point, that's going to be really difficult to do currently with how they're playing. And all STREETEIGHT has to do is wait for them to mess up one time.
Yep, and at this point, like, STREETEIGHT are in a position where they can take this home, but the thing is, like, we haven't really seen them play well on the CD side with rifles, and Winstrike, they're taking, again, a very slow approach to this. That smoke is definitely going to deny the push, but the thing is, Winstrike are not really setting up for the push just yet. The bomb is just making a rotation from spawn, so there's still plenty of time to execute their plans. Now, STREETEIGHT are doing a very good job at rotating. 3 players on the B bomb side, but I think this slow push might make them rotate a bit more. Now, again, that rotation is coming back, so we will have 3 on B, but Winstrike have been really good at just hitting B every single round and getting things done. Pronix starts off things with a nade on Flodzor. Now, okay, all players rotating in, that's definitely good for STREETEIGHT, but SLV has to go huge in this position. He's getting naded, he's getting flashed, he will probably peek, he does find 1, and not the second. Mysterio, meanwhile, does find 2. Envy gets a frag on SLV, and STREETEIGHT, 2 players we found, now only 1. It's not Toxic, and he has to do so much from here. He's mid, and at this point, yeah, he might just be retreating and saving that weapon. Even though he's on 14 frags, again, pretty much single-handedly carrying STREETEIGHT to victory, he hasn't really found any frags in the last 2 rounds, and definitely wants to keep that upgrade, that rifle, and you know, especially with $0 to his name, that is the better choice.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate where we are, but again, there's still some rounds to be, you know, played with a little bit. So now at this point, Winstrike's going to go ahead and get another one on the board, racking him up to 5. And then, well, let's see if STREETEIGHT can find, again, that 1 more. I feel like 1 more can help make them feel good, tilt it a bit. But as of right now, if they keep letting Winstrike continue to take these rounds, that money is going to get higher and higher and higher. And so then eventually it's, you know, honestly, I think it's at the point now, even if you take them out, they're going to have enough money to play for another 2, if not 3 rounds if needed.
Yeah, Winstrike on 3-round streak now, and STREETEIGHT, again, not the best economy. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do. I think they're just trying to play their defaults and hope that they work out, but so far they have not. So we might get, yeah, this is kind of a gimmick play. They're going to go 3A and probably play quite aggressive towards it. Like, they want to try something that Winstrike might not expect, because, you know, when they play their defaults, Winstrike just takes them down, but already STREETEIGHT losing 1 player, and Mysterio might go big here with a shoddy if he gets peeked, but still, just not in a good position to find yourself in if you're STREETEIGHT.
Yeah, so let's see what they're doing. Bomb is still in spawn. So no choices just yet. A is technically in a better position right now. But they are moving up here through mid. And so if that is not checked, they could get a backstab on really either side. But A's backstab would be a little bit crazier and would help them out more. Now we're going to see Necro coming back around. Looks like he's headed towards the bomb. May see some altercation with Mysterio here in just a second. No, actually, he's going back to B. Oh, SLV has that information. He heard the water. And will they meet here? They do! Shoddy! One to the face. Ooh, a little bit extra damage.
That nade comes in, but look at the bomb. It's making its way towards B, and STREETEIGHT have allocated all of their resources towards A. They still think it's A because they probably know there's 2 players close. So, yeah, we might be looking at a position where they're playing in a 3v4 retake. The bomb site is completely clear now, so they're just gonna plant it. And I think at this point, STREETEIGHT might have an idea what is going on, but it's a little bit too late. As SLV is making his way towards mid, the bomb is getting planted, and from this position, STREETEIGHT is gonna be hard, especially with the backstab coming in. Ooh, the boost does not work out at all. Lighting takes him down. A molly comes in as well, and at this point, it's only SLV on dualies.
Yep. Even though he's got 2 guns, there's 4 barrels going to be pointed at him. So I don't think these dualies. Yeah, he gets 1 bullet. Great, but not enough. So now we're going to try it again. STREETEIGHT's got plenty of money now, so they're going to buy everything that they possibly want, everything they can, and see what's possible. I mean, everything's being done. This has got to be where you take it out now. I mean, you're seeing $7,000 on everyone on the side of Winstrike. Besides Necro, he is just a hair behind in size. Well, he spent all his money there, so that he had to pick up a little bit. So, not too bad. He's back to normal. Bomb is flying again. Looks like it's tilted towards B. But, I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit more aggressive action coming in, maybe. And here comes that one. SLV gets it, but lighting is right behind him. So, again, some of these aggressive pushes, but they gotta, I don't know, aggressively push together, because obviously Winstrike know how to do this. They are running and pushing all together in clusters for the most part. And so, if someone's pushing up one person, they are definitely at least getting maybe at most 1. And so, we got to have these clusters a little bit, even though you got to set up, especially on the CT side of things. But if you're able to cluster together good enough on a little bit of an aggressive push, you might be able to, succeed with that. But again, that's a little bit of a gamble, so it's kind of all depends if they want to do that.
Winstrike, they're just attacking the B bomb site viciously round after round after round. Now they've gotten 4 in a row. And again, like STREETEIGHT are not really doing anything to deny that. They're still sending 2 players towards A. And, it seems like Winstrike, they're just able to overwhelm the site, take the plant, and at that point, they're just working at an advantage, right? So now they're actually rotating over towards A. But STREETEIGHT pulling rotation in the wrong time. There's only 1 player left on A. And, yeah, we'll see. This one will be interesting.
Yes, they're working their way. It looks like A is where they want to go. Zeiss actually able to get a quick nade out. Not able to make any real connections with that, so we're going to see a nice rotation, although there is 2 rotating kind of towards B, and then actually coming through mid, rotating in. So now they're getting into the bomb site. Not Toxic, Mysterio able to get 1 each. There we go. It's falling apart. Now there's 2 left onto the site. 1 going not down. I thought that was going to be any day of the week, but Necro down to, I swear to you, 1 HP, but time is done.
Such a weird way to win this round, but they do make it happen. They do get the match point. So now, even though Winstrike have had a pretty nice comeback 4 rounds in a row, they have to do it once again. This is no mistake zone for Winstrike. They make 1 mistake, and most likely they are out of the first game. And again, with this being STREETEIGHT's pick, it kind of makes sense, but still, we did expect Winstrike to at least not end up in an 8-2 situation. I mean, again, props to them for making that little comeback, but STREETEIGHT just looking like one of the better teams in the tournament, and that's kind of surprising, as they were definitely not primed to be, just looking at how the group started out, but now they're really showing up in the late stages of this tourney. Ooh, some players are spotted there with a jump by Not Toxic. That'll definitely be good info. And again, this is so weird though that STREETEIGHT are always sending like at least 2 players A, sometimes even 2 A, 1 mid. Like with how Winstrike have won 4 rounds in a row pretty much on the B bomb side, I would expect them to just kind of stack B and, you know, play on retakes if they do decide to go A.
Yeah, and so this could be it. Winstrike has the money, even at this point, to do another round. But ultimately, they will continue to just gain more cash. And from this point on, it's going to have to be STREETEIGHT winning it out entirely. Unless they obliterate the whole team and it gets down to a 1v1. They might be able to do that twice, and then it get to an 8-9. But they've got to keep this close. If they lose it, they have to take out as many players as possible to chip away at that money, and then might be able to get into an eco later on. That's a possibility. It's on the docket. Or if they could just take it out as a full round, just run away with it now.
B bomb site. Will it work out for Winstrike once again? Utility coming in. Pronix first point of contact. And that's going to be Envy. Taking down Floods are Not Toxic with the refrag. The man who has been single-handedly carrying STREETEIGHT does it again. Mysterio comes in with one, but Zeiss Molly actually does burn Mysterio. So now it's 3v3. Smokes are being thrown. Look at the time again. Now this time they will be able to plant the bomb most likely. It does go down with 5 seconds left on the clock. Now a 3v3. Pronix, he's able to get a frag, but again SLV with the refrag. 2v2 now and Zeiss. He is solo with Flaxies and SLV. 1 health point away from dying pretty much. Flaxies tabs the bomb, goes down, and now it's all up to SLV. This is going to be such a hard round to find. Has to eliminate at least one player, go for the defuse, and just not possible. Zeiss, as low as he is, he takes him down and keep Winstrike in this game for one more round.
Yep, another round on the board for Winstrike, working their way up. Yeah, they're going to have to pretty much go eco this time. And then we're going to be on 8. And then we're going to try it again. Well, basically, next round is the most important, because it'll be 8-9. And if they, I mean, it's really do or die then. Because if they don't take it in the next round after this, they're pretty much back on eco on a 9-9 split. I mean, what do? You like half buy the next one to like maybe half full buy the last one? Or, I mean, that's a tough choice.
It really is. STREETEIGHT have to play this smart. This looked like such a certain victory for them, but now Winstrike, they are showing us why they are that top team. When you're able to make a comeback like this, that we haven't seen all major long, you're definitely primed to play in the playoffs and do very good in them. Now, the first time Winstrike goes A, STREETEIGHT stack B. This could not have went worse for them. We're looking at a 4v5 retake, and again, I mean, at this point, they kind of have to go for it since they literally have nothing that would be worth saving. So, yeah, I mean, just go for it, battle it out, try to take some weapons out of the hands of the opposite team, but Zeiss is going to find Not Toxic, and 3 more players to be found. I think at this point, it's just a team deathmatch for Winstrike, looking to get those kills as fast as possible. This Crossfire could be good, could be a good setup to get at least one, but probably nothing more than that, and Winstrike still keeping it close, still keeping it competitive. Ooh, Envy, he's pushing up. Yeah, he might be able to get Mysterio, but gets not refragged. That's actually his teammate, Envy, helping him out, and that's going to be Winstrike on 8. And this is what you talked about, right? Like, at this point, yeah, they're going to buy up, so they're going to pull all of their resources in this, put all of their resources in this round. But if they lose it, we're looking at 9-9, and then probably on SMGs. So yeah, this is a must-win round for STREETEIGHT here.
Yeah, they have to win this entire game right here, right now. Because what you don't want to see is SMGs or just high-grade pistols rolling into the last round. I mean, this is essentially your last round for the game. Can they do it? I hope so. Winstrike has everything as far as their equipment, so if they can get it, 1 kill and retrieve the goodies, they might have a better chance. Oh, I don't think Mysterio's known yet. I don't think he saw him. He's pushed up and can crouch around the wall. Silent. Going for the push. He doesn't know where it came from. Lighting goes down. He's expecting somebody coming up. Oh, he's in a bad position. He's about to get crammed, maybe. Oh, maybe? Maybe not. They're not going to go towards him. But Envy over here. Waiting. Little bit of info. And he does. Mysterio doing these huge plays. 2 kills to his name. That is exactly what STREETEIGHT needed. And now there's 3v5. Now they're going to be headed towards B. So if they can get any indication that they're on the way, which they should be here soon. Now we're seeing a rotation. 1 person coming to help, and then the other 2 will be coming here soon as things get thrown. Now SLV on his way. 1 still on A, just in case. They haven't seen everything just yet. Not Toxic, getting 1 more? Oh, this is huge. 2 left. Necro does get an aid. Oh.
This is just not looking good. 20 seconds left on the clock. They have to execute this B bomb site, but literally all resources of STREETEIGHT are pulled towards it. Now they're actually making a rotation. They somehow think it's A.
10 seconds.
There's no way. There's no way. 10 seconds. Yeah, they have to go now. They have to go quick. And when that bomb gets planted, it's going to be all over. It's going to be STREETEIGHT. They do close it out.
Woo!
Even though at first it seemed like it might, the comeback might be real, they do close it out. From 8 to 2 to 10 to 8, but eventually they do make it work.
Yeah, they do, and wonderful for them. That is 1 more point on the board. And I'm pretty sure that means Elevate is out. I mean, they were just unable to do it. Now that means everybody's on 3 at this point. So Elevate now is just unfortunately no longer in the running for this. At all.
Nope. That's surprising. We looked at Elevate at kind of maybe top 4, top 5 team in
They
this
did
tourney,
so
the
good
start
early.
of it.
They did so good. And then 20-0, and that just threw them out the window. They were so good. I feel so bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some food for thought for them. They kind of have to figure out what went wrong in this tourney, especially in that Winstrike game, that we don't really want to talk about that much. But yeah, it could be a good learning experience, but it's still heartbreaking to be eliminated from the major in this fashion. When you don't really have even any say. It's not like you can play your last game and it's like, well, if we win it, we're in. If we lose it, we're out. Fair, that makes sense. No, they just lose that one horrible game, their last game against Winstrike, and from there on, they just kind of watch from the sidelines and, just hope, just pray that STREETEIGHT don't get any rounds. But, well, they do. They do win a game. They do get a point on the board. And now they're actually putting themselves in a good position to perhaps take Province. Again, I do think Winstrike are just very strong in Province. But honestly, we'll just have to wait and see. So we'll take a look at the highlights so far.
Yeah, and like I said, this was so good early on for STREETEIGHT. It was so great. Able to get these early games, these early rounds, and it working in their favor. Now, granted, Winstrike was able to secure it a little bit. They got themselves 1, then they got themselves 2. But then again, it started to shift again. It was pushing it back up. STREETEIGHT doing good, but again, once we went into the flip, on the other hand, it started to change. Winstrike started doing just unreasonably good and being able to bring that back. So, I mean, good on him, though. Winstrike able to bring it back. I thought it was like, what's going on? What happened? Not great, stupid good, and then not great again was a little weird. But they showed that they just had to warm up. They had to get into the groove of things. But like I mentioned, they really just need to find 1 mistake out of Winstrike. They need 1 round. And well, the second to last one was where that was. Now our MVPs, not Toxic. 17 kills. Kill death of 1.89. Basically taking out 2 people for his 1 death. And a total rating of 1.74 with Necro leading right behind him with 12, 1.5 KD, and a 1.48 rating.
Yeah, I think not Toxic definitely the key to STREETEIGHT's victory here, right? Like when the score was 8-2, he was on like 14 frags. I think the next closest on his team was 9, and the rest was like 4, 5, 6. So he was doing so good early on, and I think even though he kind of stopped a little bit towards the end there, that early damage that he did, that early performance, star-like performance that he had at first, kind of just propelled them to actually win it out. So still a close game, way closer than it initially looked, you know, when it was 8-2. And if we look at the rounds, I mean, yeah, at first, Street 8 were not doing the best. You know, they lost a few rounds even against Winstrike, but then once they kind of picked up their momentum, they just could not be stopped. Pretty much just rolling over Winstrike. But then once we got to the second half of things, Street 8 lost their anti-eco, and from there on out, it was all Street. It was all Winstrike. Just every single round, Winstrike were able to get around, you know, get some nice kills in. But at the late stages of it, you know, that they win one round by the clock running down, and then they win their second to take it over the edge by, again, pretty much the clock running down. You know, there being 10 seconds left on the clock, the site not even being cleared, and yeah, such an interesting performance.
Yeah, and I'm surprised on how many rounds we saw that were just the time ran out. I mean, that I really didn't expect Winstrike to kind of be mismanaging their time a little bit. Now, was it mismanagement, or was it just not able to do exactly what they needed to? I mean, obviously, that's a little bit of a strategy to being able to, like, okay, we're going to push at the last second. They won't expect it. They get the kill, get the plant, boom, done. But Street 8 was able to really combat that, and here is our scores for the final bits. Now, Street 8, we did have Not Toxic and Mysterio able to really show off 17 and 12, and then the rest following suit. Not too far behind, staying close together with 9 and 9, 7 for the team. And Not Toxic, although the only one who actually had a positive rating over 1.0. Over there on Winstrike side, looking a lot cleaner, and honestly should have taken it based off the way it looks. But 12, 19, 10, 10, and 7, everything looks better. The ratings are better. But again, it's all about those rounds. And unfortunately, they got the kills, but those, 2-3 rounds that at the time just, you know, ran down. Those are rounds lost that could have been taken. And ultimately, I think that's what kind of killed them. Because, 8-10, if they had, at least gotten or planted those rounds and maybe some damage, that totally would have been possible, but they just didn't get in there or have the bomb planted at all.
Yeah, I'm still kind of contemplating what happened in that second half, right? Like Winstrike, they did so well on the T side, but it seemed like their shortcomings were just kind of mistakes, right? Like both rounds they lose or simply just mistakes where the time runs out. Now, if we look at the individual performance, I think, yeah, again, everyone is doing pretty much the same on the side of Winstrike. Except for Pronix, he was just accelerating forward there. But on the side of Street 8, what we don't normally see is one playing performing very well. This time, Not Toxic showed up. But the reason I say that is because when we looked at ratings overall for Street 8, like they're really a team where there's not a single star player. Everyone just plays very well as a unit, because when we looked at ratings, I think the top rated player on Street 8 had like 1.0 exact rating, and then the lowest rated player had like 0.96. So literally all 5 players are, in a matter of 0.04 rating points apart. So yeah, I think that was pretty interesting, something to take note of, that Street 8 don't really have that star like that, just one champion who can just win round after round, but they are very, very solid as a team. And when you're very solid as a team and one player can really show up big like Not Toxic did, well, then you're priming yourself to actually win against the big guys. So again, I really do think Street 8 are one of the dark horses of this tournament.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that even though their ratings weren't the best, that their kills weren't the best, and, at least as consistent, the rounds still kept getting won. Now, our next match coming up is going to be Province. It's not their best. And it's definitely Winstrike's one of their better ones. So we'll have to find out, is that going to really come into play? Or are we going to see another Death or Glory with, their 28% on score, coming in to being really close? Because, again, all the rounds that they can get are going to come in handy, because it's a lot of 3s on the points right now. And so as many rounds as they can get, it's going to come down to those round balances to find out where they're going to land. Now, I mean, obviously, we do have, some 4s. We do have Death or Glory at 4. We do have RevialGG at 4. But, really for everything else, whether if it's going to be Winstrike with 3 or Noobs with 3 or even with Saints at 3, that's going to be some huge stuff coming in. And those round balances are really going to be where they're going to be placed all up across the board when it comes to the playoffs. And it's just, Those round balance are important and more than ever now. So even if they lose, they have to take those rounds.
Yeah, again, you know, when it comes down to the final stages of the group, it's like everyone has almost the same amount of points. So definitely, I do agree. Can we actually take a quick look at the groups? I kind of want to see what could happen at this point. So this is group number A, but what's really interesting us is group number B, as now Elevate is pretty much eliminated from it, as you know, STREETEIGHT now at 3 points, same as NOOBS and Winstrike. So at this point, Elevate is out. STREETEIGHT, NOOBS, and Winstrike still fight for their placements. So if Winstrike wins this, they take the first spot, and then NOOBS and STREETEIGHT go off round balance. But if STREETEIGHT wins it, they actually take group leaders. That would be absolutely crazy. And then it's Winstrike and NOOBS just going off round balance. Probably like if it does go to round balance, Winstrike will always have the advantage just because of that 20 plus 20 boost from the Elevate game. But yeah, this is certainly getting very interesting, very close. The tensions are definitely high.
Yeah, it is. And the fact that Elevate is, you know, essentially out at this point, now the STREETEIGHT bumps up to 3, moves them down to 4th place and officially out. So, I mean, those rounds are definitely, that's why they're so important, you know, where you can't lose, you know, 10-2 all the time just because, you know, when it comes down to it, even though they're still in, they're now officially secured their spot. You know, it depends where they want to be. I mean, honestly, depending on the round balance, they may not want any more rounds. They may not want to play up against any of the higher ranking, you know, teams that have better round balances just to get themselves a little bit further through. It is a strategy, but what is going to be a strategy is finding out who's going to be able to win. Is it going to be a 2-0 or is it going to be a 1-1? Winstrike is on the way. They're going to figure it out. And we're going to figure it out with them. On the first round of the second game, who's going to take it? STREETEIGHT or Winstrike?
I mean, you would kind of expect Winstrike to win this, right? Like the way how they played, especially against Elevate on Province, it's like, well, what can you really do against that? But again, STREETEIGHT, seems like all of these players are showing up individually. And also as a team, they're just a very solid unit, so we'll see how the pistol goes. Seems like Winstrike are sending their players towards B. The bomb is dropped mid. And STREETEIGHT, they'll have to fight against pretty much 3 or 4 players pushing in here. That's going to be a lot. Not Toxic, definitely hearing these footsteps, calling rotation. The question is, can he do much? That smoke is going to delay time so much. That's such a good smoke coming in from STREETEIGHT. We can see rotations are coming in, and at this point, Winstrike, they're going to rotate. Ooh, they might just go for a quick A-side push. This is actually genius. Yeah, okay. Just all players on both teams running both sides. Wait, are they going back? What is happening right now? This is so crazy. They actually take mid control, and now they group up towards B again. Winstrike just being as unpredictable as possible. Yeah, they're just going to slow walk B. And STREETEIGHT, they've pretty much evacuated the B bomb site. They thought it was going to be a fake, but it's actually a double fake.
They're definitely giving them a run for their money. Here we go. Zeiss running up in first, getting the first one down. B is pretty much open, and A is now going to have to rotate over. And there's one person left. SLV does go down, and now they're going to have plenty of space in here. Now they have to all get up in here into the site, 3 versus 5 style. And let's see what kind of connections they can have. They're going to slide the corner. Got a smoke. Flash comes out. Nobody can see anything. We got some kills coming in. Prane and Zeiss able to get 2 and 1 respectively. Winstrike getting the first round of game 2.
Alright, this is better. This is definitely something you would have expected from Winstrike. They do get their first round, and now they're gonna buy up those rifles. Now STREETEIGHT, they go for a very minimalistic buy. It isn't even a buy, just one defuse kit on Not Toxic. They are really gonna try to attempt a ninja defuse, perhaps. I mean, it's fair play to them, you know, they don't really want to spend any money, but at the same time, they want to have at least some kind of chance of winning this round, so that defuse kit might come in useful. Now Mysterio, he's gonna push up, the only player on an upgraded pistol here. Oh, but the timing, yeah, just not the best. Necro immediately shoots him down, and Winstrike are gonna advance towards the B bomb site, but that's actually where all of STREETEIGHT have stacked, so A would definitely be such a better call. A is completely open, like STREETEIGHT are playing this on a stack. And now Winstrike are actually moving towards A. I think what might have tipped them is that push. And so when they know that, okay, there's at least one player there, you might expect there to be a stack. So yeah, they're probably gonna find just a completely open bomb site here, and from there it should be a very easy round.
Yeah, definitely should. And so if they, I mean, honestly, A is just flat out open. So they should be able to get into the bomb site, plant it, call it good, get into position, and then STREETEIGHT will, you know, give it a shot, try it, maybe. They might hold it. I mean, they're I don't know. I feel like they're going to go in the wrong direction, but I guess they're stacking up now. They're meeting each other together, so now they're going to push as an entire unit and work their way towards A. But 1 in 3. This is interesting. They're just... It's kind of weird watching the caterpillar of numbers fly around which way they're going to go. And Prawn will just be able to catch him from behind. They'd way not even expecting them to be in the spawn. And now it's down to 2 versus 5. It's not looking too good, but oh no, Zeiss get caught with everything out. The Floods are actually still surviving.
All right, Winstrike looking in a way better position. I mean, I have to remind you on Breeze, when they had 2 rounds, STREETEIGHT had 8. This time, no 8 for STREETEIGHT, it's 0. And we're moving into the first rifle round here. Now, STREETEIGHT definitely could wish for a bit more utility. I mean, at least they have Kevlar, armor, nice rifles there, but yeah, more util. Definitely more smokes and more mollies would be very useful. Otherwise, you know, Winstrike, when they pick a side, they can just rush in. There's not really any util to deny that rush. Seems like STREETEIGHT, they're grouping up towards A. Oh, and they're actually aggressive on this. Envy, he might be the first point of contact here, lighting, kind of peeking that angle as well. But STREETEIGHT, they're aggressively trying to take map control. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Envy, he peeks in, and he's just not ready for it. Mysterio gets a double, and Floods are with another one. What a play coming in from STREETEIGHT. Completely just overwhelming Winstrike. Chronix, he's not going to be good for the kill. So far a flawless round, except for Zeiss, who finds one, but Flaxy's very quick to refrag his teammate there. So, yeah, STREETEIGHT, I really like this approach. I feel like what they were lacking on the CD side of Breeze was kind of just innovation, trying new things that might work, might not work, but, you know, at least trying them. All they did on Breeze, pretty much on CD side, was just kind of hold the same angles and, you know, hope that they win the gun duel, which oftentimes they didn't. But now, in their first rifle round on CD side, they did a completely different approach. They push 3A long. It works out great for them. And now they're in a great position to win this round and actually send Winstrike to go on an eco.
Yeah, I mean, they've got more than enough to be able to do that with their equipment, their weaponry, and everything. I mean, it's looking super solid for STREETEIGHT right now. And Winstrike still need to make a choice, which it may be A. But Mysterio is going to open it up and make sure that B is not the option. And going to be more forcing them towards A. Well, they're making positioning. Looks like Zeiss is getting into some bit more information up top. I'm going to have to do with 3 people. Really 2 on the site and 1 that can rotate really quickly. Now, if SLV can get into a better position a little bit faster... But actually, it looks like you might be finding out with Zeiss up there.
Slow and steady, name of the game, but now they are gonna explode any second now, and they're gonna push on the A side of things. Oh, Mysterio has to go big here, has to find those crucial frags. Smoke being dropped, that's definitely gonna deny the attack for a while, and Floodzar is gonna find Envy lighting with a quick refrag, and that's gonna be Flaxy's, and with another one. Oh, he's going big on this side. Zeiss, he's the only one left alive. Not even close to the site. Now he's kind of trying to peek it, but I think once Flaxy spots him, yeah, it's gonna be all over. STREETEIGHT. Again, it seems like as soon as they get those rifles, things change. And now they've equalized it on Winstrike's map pick again. And look at the buy. Is there even a buy on Winstrike? Well, 2 Deagles, a Tech 9, and 2 default pistols. So this should be 3rd one for STREETEIGHT.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Early lead now, you know, picking them up, you know, bringing it back. Those Deagles might be the might be the callous, though. I mean, even though STREETEIGHT has everything they could possibly want, you know, it still could do some good damage. Well, 3 Tech 9s now. So now let's see if 3 9s are worth it. Oh, look at this stack that's coming in. Okay, so they're going to go and just see if they can get it. B is looking to be the option. But there's 2 on B site. Maybe if there's going to be a rotation coming in. But no, actually, it's going to be Winstrike rotating out, which is terrible. Because there's 3 people on the side of A. And we can see a quick rotation come in from the other players.
Ronix trying to find an opener here. But Winstrike, yeah, they're just slowly sending their players towards A. I mean, it has kind of worked out for them in the past, right? Like, they go A more than B anyways, and when they do it, they win some rounds. But STREETEIGHT definitely in a good position to deny that again. This is against pistols, so unless these players of STREETEIGHT get just overwhelmed and isolated in 1v1s, this should be an easy one.
Ooh.
Oh no, that's exactly what I mean. Floodsor does go down, and Flaxy's not even able to get a single kill. How are these pistol rounds so potent in the major? Seems like almost every other pistol round goes the way of the pistol holders. Mysterio gonna get flashed as well, but Necro not checking that. That's a interesting one. Pronix, meanwhile, gonna get a kill on SLV. That's assisted by SLV. Not sure how that happened. Maybe he stepped in his own molly. Not Toxic, meanwhile, gets a refrag. And I mean, this is still doable. Winstrike, they have planted the bomb. It's only Zeiss left in the clutch, and he's gonna get sandwiched. He does get one, and he knows the position of the other player. Not able to get it. Not Toxic, though. Does he have time? Yes, he has a defuse kit. That's definitely good, and the defuse does come in way too close for my liking, especially, you know, against pistols. This should not be down to a 1v1 on 14 HP, but either way, respect to STREETEIGHT, they make it work, and with that, we'll move into our 6th round of play.
Yeah, that was way too close. That was... Oh, man, that, yeah, way more than it definitely needed to be, but look at that, living with 14 HP, I mean, that was basically 1 bullet separating it being a STREETEIGHT versus a Winstrike round. Now, everybody's bought up yet again. It's looking nice, but again, if Winstrike don't get this one, it's going to be another eco, and then, you know, STREETEIGHT is just looking really nice to be able to help out here, and that's going to be 1 more helping out, lighting for 2. Not Toxic, only 1 HP, but guess what? He's still able to do it. That doesn't matter. 1 HP is good enough.
All right, we'll see. Winstrike in a 1v2, that being Envy. Can he find these frags? They're just not expecting him at all. Oh, they turn at the right moment. That timing is crazy. They're not going to expect him again, I think. Yeah, they just checked this. They think this is clear. Envy, he might get a freebie here, but it's actually SLV checking it, but he's not ready for the second one. And yeah, it's going to be not Toxic. I thought for a second Envy might have completed the craziest clutch in this game so far, but not Toxic. Chilling on 1 HP, taking down Envy, and getting STREETEIGHT to 4. So again, I'm not sure what's happening. Like, I mean, STREETEIGHT are definitely playing good, but at the same time, you know, Winstrike, a team that can eliminate Elevate on this map 10-0, you'd expect them to play a little bit better, which for now, they're just not finding their stride.
Yeah, it's really strange, but here we go again into the next round. Pistols are coming out again. Same lineup as before, 3 Tech 9s and 2 Deagles. Like, hopefully it's not a repeat to where, you know, it's, you know, 1 player left. That would be a little bad. But here we go. They're going to get 1s. That's better in their favor. The bomb is headed and tilted towards B. So now all those A players can rotate over when they see fit. If they get the call to do so. SLV still may be able to do that, but he gets 1, but not 2. Not Toxic in a good position. He's flashed. He sees 1, but he's not able... What? He is able to get the second one. Not the third. So, 1 versus 3. He does not have the bomb. He did retrieve the weapon. So we're going to find out if he's able to do anything with it. That's going to be a no. A little bit of damage dealt, but goes down to the STREETEIGHT again on a round 5-2. And a tactical pause has come in from Winstrike to find out what is happening.
Yeah, this is 100% a needed tag pause. I mean, again, this is their map against Street 8 so far, just running over them. Sure, there are some close rounds, but at the same time, it seems like Street 8, they just have answers for everything that Winstrike are trying. You can see not toxic. Sure, this was very shaky, you know, winning that anti-eco in a 1v1. But overall, Winstrike are just doing very good. Here we can see that Invi clutch attempt, but not toxic, just surprising him with his positioning. And yeah, Street 8, I mean, they're solid. They're winning their gunfights when it matters, and they're playing as a team as well. So those two combined, there's not really any recipe that Winstrike can cook up that would help them advance. Now, we'll see if they've actually come up with something new. As the tactical pause nears its end, we'll head into our 8th round of play and see if Winstrike are finally able to find their 3rd.
Yeah, because not only does that give them a chance to figure out their timings and what they want to do, but it also breaks up the momentum by an entire minute against Street 8. So will that be the ultimate decider? Oh, no. Is Mysterio going to do... Okay, lighting fits that was almost the worst backstab ever. Now, Not Toxic's going to be able to get this one easy peasy. Will he get the second one? No, lighting gets 2 SLV and Not Toxic. Now it's a 2-4. Floodzord and Flaxy, the only 2 left. Are they going to be able to make this happen? It's a possibility. They're not bad, but let's see if they can help. Yep, double teaming it, making it look good. Now it's even better, being a 2-3. Look at that, just taking out that molly, no problem. Taking all the oxygen out of the air. Can they push for 2? Yes, but no. It's just not the right person. Brony was able to get both of them and puts Winstrike up to 3, but this is the final round of the half, and so will it be a 6-3 or a 5-4?
Yeah, well, the attack pause definitely works out in their favor. One thing I do want to point everyone's attention to is the fact that SLV has bought himself a sniper, and he has been, you know, sometimes pulling it out and actually doing quite well with it, so we'll see what he's able to do with it now. Where is he actually going with it? He's holding mid, alright, that makes perfect sense, you know, probably longest angle there is on this map. He's holding with a sniper. Now, snipers aren't really that viable in competitive play, as they're generally just hard to use, you know, expensive and pretty much hard to hit your shots with. But again, if there's one player who has made it work historically, that has been SLV. So we'll see if that change of weaponry will assist Street 8 in winning their 6th. As for now, they're looking to defend the B bomb on the A bomb side with 3 players, 1 towards mid, and 1 still on B. But Winstrike, they're really primed to go A here. I think especially with utilities being thrown, they probably don't want to rotate all the way over, or maybe wait there a little bit, you know, throw some more utility, sell the fake completely, and then rotate over towards B. But I think with Zeiss and also Pronix, we're making the rotation towards A. This is going to be a huge attack on the A bomb side. SLV, oh, he gets smoked up. That's a perfect smoke to come in. Wow, that was so close, actually.
Whoa.
Almost able to hit it. That was interesting. Pronix, meanwhile, eliminates Flaxy. Zeiss and Pronix with another.
No.
Oh, that tag timeout just did everything for them. Now they're looking like a completely different team, you know? Solidly executing, throwing some nice util, nice smokes to deny any long-range angles. SLV goes down as well. Now it's all up to Not Toxic. He does get 1 and almost a second, but Zeiss does eliminate him, and Winstrike do win their last round of play in this half.
Yep, looking strong after that pause, but now will that be ruined with this next technical pause as we roll into the flip and everybody changes sides and gets back into their positions? You know, Winstrike was pulling good, but Winstrike now has a chance to, you know, one of them pull back these pistols and be able to pull ahead. Now, Street 8 definitely probably needs to get it as well if they want to keep pushing ahead. They still got that 1-round lead. Let's see what's possible now that we're into the second pistol round. I mean, this would be huge. This would be ridiculous if Street 8 is able to pull this off to a 2-0.
Yeah, nobody was expecting a 2-0. I mean, the predictions were like, I believe, 35 or 40% tilted towards Street 8. So, I mean,
Yep.
I guess some people did, but still, especially with how Winstrike performed their last game against Elevate, you would expect them. You would definitely expect them to win at least one map. But now, seems like that might not be possible. As, well, they're 1 round trailing here. And also, this is gonna be a hard defense to make on the B bomb side. All players rushing in. STREETEIGHT, Mysterio floats on Mysterio again, just single-handedly, the 2 of them, eliminating all chances for Winstrike to win this crucial pistol round. I mean, it's a 2v5. Invi is gonna probably go down any second. Yeah, floods are just so fast with those dualies. And now it's all left up to lighting, so STREETEIGHT execute a flawless pistol round here.
Yep, they're gonna try and get a chance. Lighting is able to get one. Ooh. Someone behind him, Mysterio. But no damage being dealt. 22 HP remaining. Lighting just, he's 1 shot, basically. The headshot wasn't even necessary, but it came in. And now STREETEIGHT getting the pistol round and the bomb plant for a nice early lead and some extra cash for themselves. So now they're going to be able to buy up, have more things they would like going into the next round, potentially putting them up 7.
Yeah, that would be perfect for them. I mean, again, they can't afford to lose this anti-eco. This happened on Breeze. You know, they were up on Breeze, I believe 8-2. Then they lost that anti-eco, and that just left them struggling for many rounds there. So, yeah, they definitely need to get this anti-eco. I mean, it should be doable. Again, 4 USPs and dualies on Necro. Really? That's what's going to stop you from getting 2 maps? I don't think so. Yeah, it's going to be the SLV. Perfect positioning, catches 2 off guard. They still have to clear A. All players are towards there, but Mysterio just better. And Necro actually does get a frag, but Floodzor refrags immediately. Takes STREETEIGHT to 7 here. This looks very good for them right now. Now, they still have to get through pretty much 3 rifle rounds, but they are 3 in the lead. And with how they've been playing, I mean, it doesn't look that far from possible.
No, it definitely doesn't. I mean, we're now going to see everything bought up for Winstrike as much as possible for them. And now, STREETEIGHT might be able to get themselves up to 8. This is going to be, again, that first brawl out. And this has been a nice tilt for Winstrike for STREETEIGHT. If they're able to, you know, take 2 rounds, you know, get the headspace a little bit and kind of put them down from that crazy action they were doing just before the flip, might be able to do them a little bit better. Now, Necro holding a good angle and is able to pick up Floodzor, but is he able to flick in time? He is for the next one for Flaxy. Grenade coming out. A little bit of damage dealt, 4 HP gone down. So he's halfway dead. Lighting getting 1, not toxic for another one. Now it's falling apart still. SOV, not toxic, the only ones left. SLV trying to get lighting here, but he doesn't know about the other side. Or that nade coming from the sky. Not toxic, the last one left. His position is known. It's 1v3. He could do this.
Yeah, still a lot to ask. I mean, bomb is dropped. That's, I think, the biggest problem. They do not know that the bomb is dropped, but still, Ken has to go both directions here to actually make it work. And for some reason, he's choosing to engage in gunfights rather than slowly taking the bomb. I guess he wants to eliminate at least one before he picks up the bomb. Maybe he's paranoid that somebody's already guarding it, so this would put him in a better position. But again, like, I would expect him to just go for the bomb. Like, this is literally running into your death. He's literally sandwiched by 3 players, but he's still going for it. Lighting. Does spot him. Ooh, and he's able to find 1 more player. So he knows the positions. At this point, just run for the bomb. There's only 25 seconds left, but he goes for the peaks. This is going to be so hard. They can simply play him on time. That's exactly what they're doing. And they're also playing on crossfires. So Zeiss is going to refrag the death of Pronix. That's going to be Winstrike, finding a crucial round for them.
Yep, and I'm going to see STREETEIGHT buy it for the most part. Everything's going to be pretty much in their favor, except for Mysterio. He's got the deagle. But he is able to have all the extra trinkets. And so now, if his teammates are able to secure them, well, there we go. Okay, I was just about to say, where's all the weapons at? Okay, they were on the ground. So now, if they can secure 1 weapon for Mysterio, that would be fantastic. And so it just kind of all depends where this goes. Mysterio is pushing up. I mean, he is going to try and get that information. By all means, he's not useless with that deagle. He would be better off if he could, you know, retrieve himself a nice weapon.
Yeah, most definitely. A weapon upgrade would always be nice. But the bomb is dropped, and STREETEIGHT are actually, this is interesting. They're just putting resources all over the map. 2 towards B, two kind of scouting what's happening on A, but it does seem like they might choose to just go B. There's two defenders there. That would definitely be the better call. Now, one is making rotation over. That is Necro. But still, a lot of time for STREETEIGHT to just push in and completely overwhelm the B bomb site. So they're making their advances. I think Pronix might throw smoke. Yeah, now he knows. Still no smoke's being thrown. That's interesting. So they're just going to push in and take down Pronix. The smoke would have denied so much there, but not to be found. Next, Zeiss finds another one. That's definitely a good frag to be found. Oh, so flash, but how does he make it work? Finds another one. He was just fully flashed there. Still not sure about that. Now he throws a flash of his own. Meanwhile, Necro does get flaxies. And now it's all up to SLV. And he falls as well. Winstrike, they're not out of this. Seems like the closer the game gets to the end, the more they fight.
Yep, and now it's going to be the Eco and more than likely tied up. I mean, Winstrike should be able to have a good time, bring this back, get the next round, and then be able to take the lead. But we do have some Tech 9s and some Deagles that have something to say about that. So let's see what STREETEIGHT's able to do. I mean, sometimes you just need a good Eco, just to kind of reset yourself, make yourself a little bit more appreciated, you know, when it comes to the weapons that you use. Although your first two are going to go out, 3, Notox Mysterio, SLV, Floodzor, Flaxy are still alive. And we are getting some sprays coming in. Flaxy is hurt fairly decently. Oof.
Flaxy's pretty much impossible to do anything in this situation. Yeah. As a Deagle, might just look for some rifles to retrieve, right? Like, I think that would be pretty nice. But yeah, the bomb is down, and even with a minute, more than a minute on the clock, like, this is not possible. Now they spot him as well, so yeah, we can see all players like little ants, you know, they're grouping up towards where he is. And Lighting is just going to take him down immediately. So Winstrike, they're pretty much equalizing the scoreboard here, 7-7, and now attack pause is definitely coming in from STREETEIGHT. I mean, they kind of need it, right? Like, they started off on the T side pretty good, but they just haven't found their stride in these rifle rounds, and with only 3 rounds remaining for either team to win, this is a great time to talk over, you know, calm down a little bit, talk over your strategies, and see what you can do, what you can do, what you can do better, and how will you ultimately win this game.
Yep. I mean, it's definitely something, you know, these pauses are huge and important to be able to talk over everything with your team. Give yourself a second, you know, put your device down, shake your hands, you know, get them, you know, kind of loosen up again. Take a deep breath, you know, there's, you know, a little bit extra zen. Maybe the in-game leader wants to go over some strategies as they move forward. And so it would definitely be big. And again, also breaks up the momentum for the opposite team, you know, be able to, you know, they're ready to go again, but now they got to wait and wait and wait. And then sometimes if they're impatient, they might get irritated, and, you know, that might tilt them just enough for you to be able to get that kill.
Yeah, this is really, like, I don't know what STREETEIGHT are going to do. Like, Winstrike just look very dominant in these rifle rounds. And whatever STREETEIGHT try to do, it seems like they always fall 1 or 2 players short. So they have to come up with something completely new, or just make the old things work flawlessly. It seems like they are going for some of that old. They're going to go A. And Winstrike, they have 2, almost 3 players on it. Which now with the rotation coming in from Pronix as well. Yeah, this is going to be hard. We'll see if they actually throw some smoke, throw some util. That's definitely going to be needed. Floodzor throws a nice nade. Doesn't actually deal too much damage, and now the rush is underway. Or is it? Because there's smoke denying it. Oh, and Envy. Again, he's flashed, but he's able to get a frag. Lighting with another. And again, it's falling apart, but his Flaxy's actually getting 1 and getting a double. This completely changes things. Necro, quick on refrag, but his position is known. SLV takes him down. 2v2. One of the closest chances that STREETEIGHT have gotten these rifle rounds to win it out. Bomb plant is coming in, and now they have to deny the 2v2 retake. Zeiss and Pronix both on high HP. SLV, he's struggling. At this point, he just has to stay alive. I think best decision for STREETEIGHT here is just to deny time, just to run time off the bomb as much as possible. SLV, oh no, not like this. Trying to stay covered, and that's going to be Pronix with another one on Flaxies. Such a good molly. Just getting a freebie kill on SLV pretty much, and Winstrike, they do win their 8.
Oh, that's rough. And honestly, it looks like he was fine where he was standing, but it's that little jiggle he gave himself, and it just ate the rest of him. Oh, that's so unfortunate. But Winstrike now in the lead and giving them a chance to secure themselves one on the board for themselves out of the 2 games today. I mean, again, not that Winstrike need it. But, I mean, you don't want to just let STREETEIGHT 2-0 you. I mean, that doesn't look good. You got to be able to hold yourself up, continue to fight, and be able to continue to secure the rounds.
Yeah, most definitely. And at this point, I think STREETEIGHT have lost a little bit of that Street Fighter spirit, as they're just struggling to find any answers to Winstrike's ironclad hold on the CD side. So, yeah, moving into round 16. This doesn't look too good. And again, STREETEIGHT just keep trying to attack A. I mean, it did work last round to get the bomb plant, but I would expect them to try something else. You know, maybe try to take mid control, explode from there. For now, they're just kind of sending many players towards A, and that smoke coming in again. That just works out great for Winstrike. And now the molly as well. This is going to be hard. Floodzar is able to find Envy. Lighting, quick on refrag. Oh, and Necro and Lighting gets a double as well. No, SLV, the only one left alive, and not for long. Just as I say that, he goes down. Winstrike, what is the time? 5, 6 rounds in a row now?
Yeah. I mean, it's... yeah, Winstrike's on 9, and, yeah, they're gonna have to try as hard as possible. They got some FALs, they got an MP5, they got a Mac, and another MP5 to go with that. So, well, without further ado, you're possibly your last round with everything possibly bought up for Winstrike. And yeah, enough bought up for STREETEIGHT. There's not a whole lot else they can do, but they have as much as they possibly can. This could be the last and final round for this. Trying to go for the double peek, and nothing happens. No one's there to help. And now it's a 3v5.
Yeah, STREETEIGHT, they're definitely not looking good in these last couple of rounds, and now they're even in a more tough position. Mysterio, he needs to find at least one. He hears the footsteps. Actually, the first player is kind of low, so he's able to find one. That's Envy, and Lighting, yeah, he's just gonna run away. He doesn't want to give any freebies to Mysterio. Just wants to lock this down, right? Like, they have both bombs, so they have a bomb on control, right? So all they have to do is really just play as slow as possible, try to escape the bullets of STREETEIGHT, and not die. And at this point, that doesn't seem like that hard of a mission. It's not Toxic is approaching the bomb. He's gonna meet 3 players on the other side, ready to crossfire him. Actually, Mysterio is able to find one more, making it a bit more interesting. 3v3 now. He's gonna push in. Oh, and Xeyes goes down. So many players to be found. Not Toxic. He does find one, but can't get anything more than that. And now it's only Mysterio. He falls as well. And that's Winstrike winning out the second game, making the best of 2, 1-1. Close game, very close game at the start, especially with STREETEIGHT kind of taking that early advantage. But ultimately, definitely Winstrike the better team on Province, showing us once again why it's one of their best, if not the best map.
Yeah, I mean, that was honestly still closer than it probably should have been for Winstrike. But as I mentioned before, they got those rounds. So that's going to be great. STREETEIGHT for getting so many rounds. 7 rounds. That is going to severely help their round balance in the pool of 3-point teams. It is going to be so good for them. They gave it as much as they could. And honestly, even though Winstrike still won it, the win for them would have just been, the icing on top. They would have been one of the only, 4-pointers. But without that anyway. So, I mean, it's totally fine. They've made it in. They've secured their spot. Elevate's out. They have more rounds. So we'll find out, hopefully, with the updated graphics, where their actual standings are and where they're going to be placing themselves. But honestly, just top-notch action. Love it.
Yeah, this was an interesting way to end the group stage. I think it's one of the best ways to end it, where it ends on round balance. I think it makes it kind of more interesting, and it also makes it way more worth it, that if you fought for every single round in this tournament, that's great because you're going to have an advantage in the round balance. But if you kind of slacked off, maybe there were some games where you were like, yeah, we probably lost this, at the scoreline of like 7-2, and you just slacked off and you didn't try to get those crucial rounds, well, now that's going to come back to bite you. So, yeah, I think that's a good way to end it off. Again, we'll show you guys Probably everything, we'll show you the group stage, we'll show you the standings, we'll show you maybe even the seedings for the playoffs coming next, I believe after a week we'll have the playoffs, right? 21st, 22nd, if that's correct. Yeah.
20
so
to 22nd.
we'll have to wait
yep.
a week. We'll have to wait a week to actually see how it plays out, but it should be pretty interesting. We should see kind of the first playoff candidates. But let's actually take a look at the highlights. So this is STREETEIGHT versus Winstrike on Winstrike's best map so far, Province. And even though they kind of struggled to show it at first, the STREETEIGHT were just, racking away rounds, this best of two really was a game of chunks. Each team getting 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 in a row, and then letting the other team have a go at it. So yeah, starts out good for STREETEIGHT. We're able to find many in a row, but kind of as soon as we switch to that CD side for Winstrike, they're just better at everything. So STREETEIGHT really struggling to find any T-side rounds.
Yeah, they really did. And I mean, STREETEIGHT so strong at the front end. I mean, they're up to 5 now. Then it started to go towards Winstrike's way, and unfortunately, they started racking it up off the side of STREETEIGHT. Now, they're able to get one more in there, then another one. But once we got to the 7-4 scoreline, that was it. That's all she wrote. And then after that, that is 6, count it, 6 rounds in a row that they were able to take and just continuously racking it up. At one after the other after the other. STREETEIGHT definitely gave it really close, and it even came down in some of these cases to just 1, 2 players left on either side. But ultimately, it just kept getting kind of obliterated on that. So here are our MVPs for the teams. Lighting, it had 18 kills on the winning side of Winstrike, having a KD of a solid 2, and then having a 1.8 rating for himself. Then there's 15 on the side of Not Toxic, 15 kills, 1.25 KD, and a 1.17 rating. Definitely very commendable on both of them.
Yeah, most definitely. I think Lighting really showed up on Province. Like, we could see round after round that, again, he maybe wasn't the flashiest player. He wasn't the player that gets like, oh, nice triple, nice quad, but he was just there every single round. He was able to make things work. Now, if we look at the rounds, yeah, I'd say pretty dominant from both teams. Especially start looking at, the 12th round, and from there on, it's just a complete downfall for STREETEIGHT. Winstrike finds 6 rounds in a row, and not even the closest ones. None of these rounds turned into a 1v1. 3 of them were 2v2s. The rest, just complete dominance from Winstrike. So, yeah, STREETEIGHT, as they have now gotten into playoffs, definitely have to work on their T-sides, especially on Province.
Yeah, that's definitely something they need to work on, and that's something for them to train over the next week. Because, again, unfortunately, we will have those matches on the 21st, and 22nd for those best of 3s on the playoffs. So they got some time. They have, a couple of maps that they can work on and go back and forth. Those ratings and those percentages that we have for them and what their worst maps are. Maybe work on those a little bit. But overall, here's our overall standings for this match. Winstrike looking super dominant with 18, 15, 14, 11, and 5. Envy did not do too well on that one, but he still did his role. He had impact, and he also had information. Now, other side, we had STREETEIGHT with 15, 10, 9, 9, and 7, all staying relatively close together in sequence. But the overall ratings, everybody was positive for Winstrike except for Envy. And then it was only Not Toxic who was positive. So, at the end of the day, the scores reflect the winnings at this point of that 10-7. And Ronix, 34 kills. I mean, that is great across 2 games with a 1.62 KD and a 1.51 rating.
Yeah, I mean, 34 frags on 2 maps. That means he doesn't just show up for one, he shows up for both. And when you have a player like this on your team, I mean, sure, you might lose a game, you might have a bad first game on Province. But if this guy keeps showing up, I mean, eventually that's going to bring them to victory. And that's exactly what happens in the second gameplay, that being Province. 1.62 KD, that's crazy as well. Do you know what SVR is? I've been trying to figure it out all tournament long, but haven't really found any answers yet. I might just have to Google it.
Yeah, and figure out what that impact is for them. Yeah, we'll get figure that part out. If you guys are wondering at home, we'll get that information for you for those playoffs. We'll get all the extra details for those points. But this is the results of the day. 1-1 and 1-1. This will be the kind of first day we have had double ones. Usually there's something that goes wrong, and there's a 2-0. But 1-1's coming in for today. So congratulations to Saints, Death of Glory, Winstrike, and STREETEIGHT for all picking up at least 1 point today and putting themselves in a great position going into the playoffs. And unfortunately, we must say goodbye to one. Elevate, unfortunately, is being taken out. Here's our current updated stats. We have Saints on 4, RevialGG on 4, and Death or Glory. Look at that. 1, 1, and 1 across the board to give them 3. So, Group A, looking solid. 2 4s, 1 3, and unfortunately, INCO was the first to go. So, unfortunately, they will not be returning for the playoffs, which we appreciate them coming in here and having a good time with us, but unfortunately, they did not make it. And now, Elevate is now officially booted out, and we are sitting with 1 4 and 2 3s. So, somewhere along the board, we've got it split 3 4s, 3 3s. And they'll have to figure out those placements for everybody with those round balances coming in. Once they get those things calculated, it's a lot of stuff on the back end. But here we go for the dates and everything so far. We are going to have on the 20th, we're going to have Saints and Noobs and Revile and Winstrike. That's not going to be fun going into that. But Saints going against Noobs also doesn't seem fun. Noobs are crazy. And then there's Death of Glory and STREETEIGHT at the bottom. I think they're going to have to work their way up.
Yeah, so STREETEIGHT, even though they win that round, that first game, that round balance doesn't really come into their favor. So they're going to be starting off on not exactly the foot that they wanted to start off. But again, I mean, they are kind of the underdogs, but also the dark horse of this tournament. And this would be a great way for them to prove that they can, make it out of the worst of positions. Meanwhile, in the upper bracket, we have Noobs. We have a team that we expected to drop out at the group stage. Well, guess what? They've made it to the upper bracket of the playoffs. And I think RevialGG versus Winstrike will be probably the most hyped match of the semis here, as this is just going to be absolute all out. I mean, both are kind of legendary teams in Standoff 2 competitive, right? Like Revile and then Winstrike. I think Winstrike were known as Horizon for a while, and that's kind of where their date of foundation is only 2022, I believe, or 2023, because before that they were known as Horizon. But either way, Horizon, Winstrike, whatever you want to call it, against Revile, that's gonna be a huge blast. I can't wait for that game.
Yeah, that's going to be nuts. But honestly, I'm almost more excited for the Noobs game just because since they are the new guys and they've done so good through here, nothing against Winstrike, but the new guys that are up and coming, it's a little exciting to me. So honestly, I can't wait to watch both of them on the 20th. It's going to be a great time. So again, make sure you guys have that noted down on your calendars and or at least have your notifications turned on for the channel here, and you'll be able to get notified when those go live. When that is. So we'll be able to figure out the timings for everything. Of course, we got to get with these teams and find out what's better time, what's available, and of course everybody on the back end to make sure everything works flawlessly going into those playoffs.
Yeah, most definitely. I think the playoffs are just going to be all out from all teams. I mean, the fact that they made it to the playoffs, they've already secured some kind of prizing. I think 5th and 6th place get 1,000 each. But you don't want to get 1,000. You want to have a chance at getting the 12.5 thousand. Is that correct?
Yep.
1,200. Yeah, 12. And there you go. Well, you want to get the big prize. What I'm saying, you want to get the first place, obviously, not only because of the money, but also just because of that, respect and kind of title that you put yourself in if you could get that first place. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think especially with Noobs playing as good as they are playing, that best of 3 should be a blast. And again, because these are best of 3s, they're going to be way more intense, because we saw many matchups in this group stage where in the best of 2, one team gets 1 game, the other one gets 1, and it kind of ends at that. And it's like, sure, both of them take 1 point home. Well, at this point, there will be no taking points home. It will be either getting a win and advancing, or losing, and then you're pretty much out. Especially in the lower bracket, I think that the tensions are just going to be incredible.
Yeah, when it comes down to those lower brackets, although whoever loses out of the upper bracket, Death or Glory or Street 8 being able to, you know, take out the not so great teams. Now, will that guarantee them the, placement for themselves? No. But that does put them in the best case scenario. I mean, they're going to be playing up against not the best out of the upper bracket and then giving them a chance to be the best in the lower bracket. But that is going to be a long, hard battle to work their way to those finals. Because, I mean, if you're in the upper bracket, all you got to do is win 2. That's it. You just got to win 2 matches, and you're in the grand finals. But in the lower bracket, you got a lot more to work up for, and it's just going to be a long journey.
Yeah, I mean, look, you kind of pay the price for not getting in the first or second place because a lot of the times, when you have group stage and then playoffs, only probably, the top 2 teams advance from 4, and then, there's no lower bracket. So I'd say that lower bracket is kind of a gift for these third place teams. And because it is a gift, it's going to be a bit harder. You're not just going to get like an easy gift and then, oh, we win one game, we're in the finals. No, no, no. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to prove that even though you finished third in the group, things have changed and you can fight for the finals.
Yeah, they're very true. I mean, the fact that they're still here and now they've got some prizing is going to be absolutely fantastic for them. So no matter what happens, congratulations to them. But before we dip, let's go ahead and check out the full chaotic mess that was today and all of the kills for everyone. We're going to start out here with that lovely knife and shotgun blast face. Saints and Death or Glory. This matching was nuts. There was a lot of grenades happening and a lot of crazy kills coming in here, especially caught on that last one. That bait was nasty. But again, it ultimately ended in one way that it was down to a 9-9. And ultimately, going only one victor could be made. Then we move over to our second map, Sakura. And this was a huge backstab here. And again, it can only go one way.
Yeah, the Breeze game I think was way more interesting than anything today, right? Like it was a very close one, and it was just interesting to see how Winstrike approached Breeze as a team. Now STREETEIGHT, they certainly did surprise us. They did some good, and definitely one player that really surprised us was Not Toxic. I mean, we saw 8-2 in, and he was already on 14 frags, I think, so he pretty much single-handedly secured that game. And then we also have STREETEIGHT here, starting off very good on Province, getting multiple rounds in a row. But then Winstrike, again, as soon as we get to that CD side for Winstrike, they just have it locked down on Province. I think their CD side on Province might be like their best side on any map, altogether. So, yeah, definitely coming into the playoffs, I think Province will be a insta-ban from the other team. I don't think anyone wants to face Winstrike on Province. Like
No.
they've been pretty much flawless throughout the whole tourney on it. But yeah, let's take a look at the standings again. So, Death or Glory, they'll probably play they'll play the loser of Revile and Winstrike, and then STREETEIGHT will play the loser of Saints versus Noobs. Now, again, Death or Glory and STREETEIGHT, they're certainly 2 teams that, probably did not get thought of as going to make it to the top 4 in the groups. But the interesting thing is that Saints, Revile, Winstrike, yeah, sure, they all deserve to be in the semis, it's kind of expected. But it's actually Noobs. I think most people expected Elevate to be where Noobs are at, but, with what Winstrike did against Elevate, they're not there, and it's Noobs. It's this newcomer team that has risen very quickly. I think they were established only a few years ago, and we looked at the recent results, and it was like, they played like against pretty much nobodies even a year ago, and now suddenly they're playing at the highest levels of competition, and they're pretty much in the top 4 as of now, top 6 definitely. So huge props to Noobs. I think they're definitely a team with a great, bright future, but we'll see how bright that future is in this major.
Yeah, so again, that's going to be 20, 21, and 22 of this month is where these matches are going to happen. So join us on the 20th to see all of the upper brackets, and then the 21st will be the lower brackets to find out who will be advancing into the lower brackets, and in which case we'll have to see that matching come again. Basically the best of the best who wins those first ones on the 21st will go to the 22nd, fight it out again, and then whoever loses on the 22nd in the upper bracket will then go into the relegation round and find out who will take that, and moving up again into the grand final. So again, whoever wins 2 in a row on the 20th, that's where we're going to land. So congratulations to everybody for making it here. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for us today. We are out of games, out of things, and, well, that's our information. So, guys, make sure you're tuning in. You have the information, you have the subscriptions and the notifications live for when these next incredibly insane matches will be happening on the 20th and 21st to find out who's going to be moving forward into it. So you don't want to miss it. I have been A-Master, and that has been Twist. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's been wonderful. Thanks for having us here. We'll see you back here on the 20th for some more insane matching.
See you guys in a week.